good? Can you guys hear me? I cannot see the chat. Okay. Wow. This has been very frustrating, so I'm sorry about this taking a million years. I can't get the chat to display on the screen, so I'm gonna try to fix that really quick. I thought I had title on here too, so let me get that on here so we can just keep the background music going. I'm not very good at streaming, if that wasn't obvious enough. Oh, whoops, I know what I'm doing. How do I... Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. There we go. Let's get title back up. Keep the bangers going. Oh, am I quiet? Oh. Yeah, I'm a little quiet. Let me turn that up. This is so fun. I'm doing a great job streaming. This is going so well. Oh, you're seeing my OBS screen too. Lovely. I can turn this down and have that play in the background. Really quiet. Okay, do we have background music? Why is this not... How do I get this chat open again? This is so fun. I'm doing a great job. Can I just... Oh my gosh. How do I get the chat on the screen? Help. Oh my gosh. I'm like face palming so much right now. Yes, the art is by a Blue Skittle. The one and only Blue Skittle, same artist as Aviators. We love him. How do I get the chat on the screen? This is gonna bother me. Okay, well, I can't figure out how to get the chat on here. And I don't know how to get the link to the chat. I should have, like, given myself a crash course on streaming right before this. Because I did a while ago and I was like, oh yeah, I'll just remember everything. I do not remember everything. How do I do this? Ah! I'm sorry, the first 20 seconds is just me trying to figure out how to get this to work. Alex, hello. How does it feel to drop my first debut album? You haven't heard it yet, so I don't know, but I'm relieved the production part of it is over because I would put myself through like so much extra work with mixing and mastering and finding problems with it and then going back into it and changing it again and again and again and again. So that's fun. But that's over now, which is great. I don't have to worry about that anymore. So instead, if there's a problem with my mix, I have to deal with it now, which is great. Oh, you're still seeing the OBS screen. Gosh dang it, how do I fix that? This is so fun. Heck. I don't know what I'm doing, and this is going badly. Okay. I'm sorry, let me just like troubleshoot the chat thing. I'm so good at typing. I just wanted to premiere my album, but this is so hard. Can I have something that isn't a video, please? Since I'm streaming right now. That's another video. That's really helpful. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. No chat then. I don't feel like wasting anyone's time any more than I have to, so I'm just gonna hide that. So I can't have the chat display on the screen. I'm just gonna have to like look at the chat from my phone or something. But we'll work with what I am able to do. Hopefully this will run at least somewhat smoothly. Very savvy with YouTube. This is going so badly, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just gonna have to check it from the live video, which is gonna be a bit laggy. Or I can just check it from my. Okay, you know what? Yeah, let's just do that. I'm just gonna have to keep checking back and forth. You see yourself enough as it is? Okay. Cool. So we'll just work with what we got. Okay, cool. Yeah, welcome all 5 or 6 of you who are here right now. Thank you for coming. Ew, I hear myself. Go away. Yeah, this is Playing with Fire, my first original album. Yippee. Yay. So exciting. Yeah. So I was gonna, as we saw from the schedule, which I posted, not sure if all of you have seen that. I assume most of you have. But I was gonna do a tier list of the album as we're listening through all the songs. My phone shut up. And yeah, so like my plan was to introduce the song, put up a poll, and then as the song is playing, you guys can vote on what your rating would be for the song, and then by the end of it, we can like put together the tier list. But I don't know how to put polls in the chat, so if I can figure that out, that would be wonderful. Oh, I can do a poll. Okay, perfect. Can I add more options? Yes, okay, perfect. I can do a poll. Great. So, this is roughly a concept album, by the way. And it's sort of like a dystopian, sort of post-apocalyptic thing, where it's like downfall of society, and then corruption takes power, and then people are kind of suffering through that, and then eventually, like, yeah, things happen. I don't want to spoil too much. So our first song is called What If the World Was Ending, and it is a soft orchestral piece. Let me pull up the video if I can find it. Okay, some of these are visualizers that I made myself. Some of them are lyric videos that I had a few friends do. They are all amazing and talented, and I will share their information as the videos come up. Let's see. Just checking the chat again. What if the world is loading? Okay. And then can I get the video to play? This is so fun, guys. I know what I'm doing. Display to capture. Is that it? Nope, that's not it. Cancel. Ah! You had to see my whole screen. Oh no, how embarrassing. Get rid of that. So exciting, I know. Okay, let's try this again. Media source? Is that what I'm doing? Can I... Okay, this isn't exactly what I'm trying to do, but I guess this works. Oh wait, I can't play the audio if I do that. No, okay. Not that. Troubleshooting. So fun. Okay. Window. It's an option to share my window. Window capture. Okay. I think we're getting somewhere now. Is it... Where is it? There we go! Yay! I got it. Perfect. Okay. I guess I'll just have to make this bigger. Not my ideal setup, but yeah, I'll just let that play. Let me turn off title. Boop. Okay. No music. Instead, you get to hear my music. Oh no, so embarrassing. Okay, yeah. Let me post the poll first. What if the world was ending? S, A, B, C. I can't go any lower than that. Okay. Okay. Cool. I'll just post the poll. Hopefully you guys can see it. Can I pin that? Okay. All right. Poll is posted. And with that, let's hear our first song. If I can get it to play. Let me mute myself too.
What if the world was ending? That we lost our lives to the bombs outside our doors. That we lost our peers and all our fears came true. And we never had a chance to say goodbye. What if the world was bleeding? As our wounds would grow, we'd never know the cause. That we never guessed that we'd all be left for dead. And we never cared enough to fix it all. What if our minds were tainted? That we lost our sight of what was right to do. That our conscience died as we defied our laws. And we never took the time to question why. Then once we reach the end of the world, we'll find we never cherished what we loved. And that's when things will fall apart. Always took things for granted. What if our peace corrupted? It was all a lie and indifference made us die. And we're forced to steal, accept it's real and kill. And we never thought to act with hope and love. What if we lose to violence? That we lost our minds as we're traumatized by death. As we change within and we give in to sin. And we never back away from what we've done. What if we're forced to silence? That the truth was killed and justice will be gone. With our faith erased and good replaced with bad. And the damage was too much to be repaired. Then once we reach the end of the world, we'll find we never cherished what we loved. And that's when things will fall apart. Then once we reach the end of the world, we'll find we never cherished what we loved. And that's when things will fall apart. What if the world was ending?
Okay. Yeah. Wait, stop. That's like a little outro I'm gonna have for each of the videos. Sorry. Yeah, that was What If the World Was Ending. I'm seeing that got a lot of S votes. It got 1A. Majority rules, so that got an S vote. Cool. Let me get the tier list pulled up so we can work on that in the meantime. That is now set to S. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. That's sort of like a song where it's just like, oh no, wouldn't it be terrible if all this bad stuff happened? So it's kind of just like pondering and wistful and all that kind of stuff. But then the next song is where things actually start going down, where things are like kind of crazy and hectic and oh no, bad stuff is happening. And on that topic, feels more like an ending song than a beginning, to BH, but still solidly done. Nice regression, A tier for now. I don't really have a comparison. Okay, thank you. I appreciate your comments. Yeah, so on that note, the next song is called Quarantine, which was sort of like my tribute to writing a song about COVID, but also in the context of the album, it's sort of like, again, this is where like things kind of go crazy. Poop hits the fan, if you will. And it's like all these new sudden mandates are being enforced and people are like, what's going on? This is crazy. And the government's like, shut up and deal with it, I guess. I'm not very good explaining it like verbally, but I did have all this written down. Let me pull up my description. I have like descriptions written for all of these on the Bandcamp page, and I will read off of those so you have a bit more context. Ew, Bandcamp looks different. They changed their UI. I don't like that. So now I have to navigate that too. Lovely. Okay, Playing with Fire. Let me read through What If the World Was Ending first of all. And then I'll read through Quarantine, and then I'll play that song. Okay, What If the World Was Ending? My description says, this song is a foreshadowing of destruction, teetering on the hypothetical. As the title suggests, this song makes the listener ask themselves what would happen if things completely changed. While What If the World Was Ending is a rather depressing topic to cover, I chose to write this song not just as an introduction to set the scene for this album, but also as a morbid but necessary reminder for us. No one is thrilled about the idea of dying, but it's bound to happen at some point. Remembering that life is temporary also reminds us to make the most of the life we have. We should enjoy everything we have for what it's worth, whether it's good or not. Even in sorrow, we grow stronger and we learn from our mistakes. Even when we lose everything, it's not over unless we say it is. We can determine our happiness, and there is always a chance to find faith and hope, no matter the circumstances. That was What If the World Was Ending. Quarantine's description. Just got a text that AAA is in the chat. Thank you for joining. No worries. And for those of you who don't know, AAA is the other half of Poisonous Myth. He also helped me with the guitars on Appetite in both the original version and the remaster. I'll get to that song when we reach that song. I'll explain more detailed about that later. But my description for Quarantine says, quarantine is about the beginning of the end. When we're all in danger and things start falling apart, all we can do is... Oh, that's a typo. All we can do is, not it. All we can do is leave it to the people higher than us. They are the only chance we have left, and they'll have to come to our rescue. But what if we can't trust them? What if what they do doesn't help? On a broader level, while the song was intended to recreate the experience of the COVID pandemic, I'd like to think of this as a double meaning, to simulate the panic of taking a leap of faith when things aren't in your control. Losing control of a situation can be terrifying, especially if you don't know what will happen when someone else takes the reins. It's always tense seeing someone handling a delicate situation when you don't fully trust that things will go accordingly. Update that real quick. Okay. Release date August 2nd now, I guess. If I update it, that'll go public. We can't have that yet. Okay. So I'll do that later. Yeah. Okay. So, next one. Quarantine. Oop, this opened twice. No, it didn't. That's just the chat. Or the stream. Let me post the poll first before I play the video. Oh no, piano chord. Ah, scary. Okay. New poll. S tier. Oop. Now it says S tier for 50%. Or S150. That's still the leading result, so I'm just gonna keep it at S for What If the World Was Ending. Okay, next poll. Quarantine. And again, for those of you who just joined, we are doing a tier list of the album. So I'm going to put up a poll for each of the songs, and you vote how much you like the song based on S, A, B, or C. And that will be the result of the poll, or the result of the poll will be the tier list. And then we're going to look at the tier list at the end, and then I'll make my own tier list, and we'll compare it to mine. And yeah, it'll be a grand old time. Quarantine. S, A, B, and C. Okay. Poll is posted in the chat. Hello, Silver Crow. Thank you for joining. Okay, and with that, let's begin our next song, Quarantine.
Outside, isolate us to survive. Keep our eyes glued to the screen. Mandatory new routine. Never question what they say. They just want to keep us safe. We live in desperate times, but we must stay in line. Run to the shelters, board up the doors. Try to prevent an upcoming war. Suppressing the pain and the deafening cries. Dreading the thought that I could die. Don't fear a thing, cause it's all in their hands. They'll take it from here with their unfailing plans. Lock us away and throw out the key. Goodbye to freedom, welcome to quarantine. Unwavering loyalty breeds a harsh reality. Paranoia weaponized breeds controlling in disguise. Never question what they say. Tell us that they'll keep us safe. Trust is a privilege, but can be dangerous. Run to the shelters, board up the doors. Try to prevent an upcoming war. Suppressing the pain and the deafening cries. Dreading the thought that I could die. Don't fear a thing, cause it's all in their hands. They'll take it from here with their unfailing plans. Guaranteed safety right in their grasp. Said our affliction will be its last. Simple solutions, they'll find a cure. Experimentation can't be too short. We're far too desperate to wait for the fact. Disregard any thought to reflect.
I forgot to unmute myself. I'm so sorry. I was talking to myself this whole time. Oh my gosh, that's embarrassing. Okay, I'm sorry. My mic is on now. Yeah, even AAA texted me I was muted. Okay, I'm back on. I'm sorry about that. What I was saying earlier is that it seems we have a three-way tie in the poll. And yeah, sorry, I got the mic working now. We have a three-way tie on the poll, so I'll give everyone a chance to keep voting. I'll just read through the comments while we're doing that. Assuming all of you didn't vote and that there's someone who is left to vote, or I can just veto the results or something like I did with the time planned for the stream. Yeah, I'll just go through the comments. I get strong Aviators vibes from the instrumental. Not really sure if I was going for Aviators specifically, but I'll take it. Sure, we like Aviators. Aviators is cool. If you think this is an Aviator song, then I will say there's another song that I was definitely going for Aviators a lot more closely. I will get to that song, and I'll reveal it when we get to that in the set list. But yeah, I went for some experimental sounds with this one, especially with throwing in some seventh chords with the piano chord progression. Sounds like danger is present but accepted, sadly. That's a good way to summarize it, I'd say. Very tense vibes, like there's a looming threat around. Yep, that also summarizes it pretty well. The chorus got me, dang. As a UK citizen... Oh, where'd it go? As a UK citizen right now, I get relate to these lyrics, lol. Oof, I'm sorry. This would have been a good Voices of the Crowd song. I did not think of that, actually. It's interesting you say that. One of my other songs in this album does have Voices of the Crowd in it. This was already a pre-release song, but the title track, Playing with Fire, does have a crowd in it. Yeah. And I had, I think, 40-something people, or 50-something singing that in that one. But yeah, I'll get to that one. That's halfway through the album, I think. Solid Flow could have used a bit more meat on its bones production-wise, but that may just be me being picky. No, I appreciate the critiques. Keep it coming. I'll give my own comments on the songs after the album, but I definitely agree with you on that one. When I think of your music, that's the exact sound I think of. S tier. Thank you. I think that's all of them before everyone's like, Liv, you're muted. Let me see. Liv and AV collab when? Oh wait, I forgot about Last Christmas. Yeah, we did collab on Last Christmas. That was 2018, I think? That was a long time ago. That was the first major collab I've ever done, so I just happened to get lucky with that one. I'd love to collab with Aviators again, honestly. I had one song on this album that I did want to collab with him on, but I ended up not doing that because I kind of felt the song didn't really fit him well. But that is on my bucket list. I will eventually try to collab with Aviators again. That would be nice. I wonder who could possibly be in that crowd. Yeah, a lot of you guys in the chat were in the crowd, actually. I have a whole list of people mentioned there, so I will read those off when I get to Playing with Fire. But our next song is called Mutiny. Let me read the description. We finally reached our breaking point. The so-called saviors that would come to our rescue have failed us, and now we're left to fend for ourselves. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, and risks must be taken. Hold on to your seat, because things are going to get dangerous. Mutiny is about completely losing control of circumstances and losing trust in others. Receiving help can sometimes fix things, but in the case where it doesn't, not only does the situation worsen, but in some cases, you develop a lot of distrust towards those who are supposedly going to fix things. That's a run-on sentence. I'm going to fix that. Sometimes their intentions were meant for the best, and it was no one's fault that things went south. Other times their intentions were only for their self-benefit, and they were fully set on letting you down. In such cases, it makes you want to doubt everything. You doubt those who failed you. You doubt yourself. You begin to lose hope that things can be fixed. Of course, I have no intention of letting this song only have a negative message. In the case of Mutiny, yes, while things aren't looking too great here, it's also a good reminder that sometimes things are bound to happen out of anyone's control, and sometimes it's no one's fault. It's important to at least discern whether a negative circumstance happened intentionally or not. It's best to give others benefit of the doubt, but still be wary enough to understand the relationship that they have with you and what happened. It's good to push someone away when you know they will continue to hurt you, but it's also good to trust when you know it's no one's fault, even with the circumstances you face. It's always worth giving a second chance if you know their intentions are good. let me add, let me check the poll again. Quarantine 1 S tier. Cool. I'll put quarantine in the S tier then. And let me get mutiny pulled up. I feel like anyone would be happy if they got to collab Davey. True. I'd be happy if I could collab Davey. My vocal's not that good yet. I mean, he's had people with like many, many different varieties of singing abilities and microphone quality in his crowd, so anything's possible. Okay. Well, quarantine 1 S tier, so I'm gonna end the poll. I'll make a poll for mutiny. And then I will play that. Mutiny. S. A. B. C. Okay. Poll is posting right now. Okay. Poll is in the chat. Let's get our next song pulled up. Sorry, I don't know why it's taking a while. Let me try pulling it up a second time. See if it'll load faster.
Broken our trust, betrayed our own, left us to die, left us alone, opened our wounds, buried alive, dignity gone, fed up with lies, standing at the sidelines, watch the steady decline, chaos unexpected, order was rejected, cast away the helpless, reject the defenseless, why so cold and heartless, this mutiny is endless. Frozen with fear, fatal mistake, they struck us down, hurt but awake, wasting away, life after life, left to decay, night after night, standing at the sidelines, watch the to betray us, starving, bleeding us dry, burden to carry all of their faults. Pray to God that He'll help us all. Standing at the sidelines, watch the steady decline. Chaos unexpected, order was rejected. Cast away the helpless, reject the defenseless. Why so cold and heartless? This mutiny is endless. Set the sky on fire, prisoners of liars. Left in disproportion, life becomes illusion. Insecure and hopeless, no one left to save us. You can trust us all but yourself and you're abandoned.
Okay, sorry, I know the stream kind of died halfway through that. Were we able to hear this whole song, or should I play it again? I forgot there's gonna be a bit of a lag between me talking and the chat responding, so, oh, the pan echoes in the back, very fun. Let me just read through the comments on the song then in the meantime. Oof, yeah, the stream is barely running. Loudness kind of fits the vibe. It's decent, I had to raise the volume. It was kind of clipping on my end. I'm surprised it was quiet for you. It started lagging. Then it was working. Backing vocals. Song makes your voice stand out. Shows the potential. I love the Panda Echoes. Thank you. I was very experimental with how I mixed this one. Especially the vocal chops and the bridge too. I thought that'd be kind of fun because I never really did anything like that before. Should I play the song again? If you... Oh, you heard most of it. Okay. I could probably play it again at the end of the stream then, or at the end of the set list. Let me see. A tier seems to be winning this one, so I will put this as A. Mutiny is A. Okay. Cool. The echoes in the bridge were different, gave a vibe of cry for help that no one hears. That's an interesting way to put it. I like that. The stream is loading on YouTube Studio. I'm not sure if that's just me or if the stream is running okay for you guys right now. Thank you. I'm glad you like this one, Alex. Yeah, if you heard most of it, I probably don't need to play it again then. I'll release the album after anyway, so you'll get to hear it for yourself. But yeah, I'm sorry about the lag there. Yeah, with that said, next song is called Stalkers. This was a really weird one for me. Yeah, here's my description. Stalkers is about feeling constantly on edge and fearful for your life, while aware that there are others that are out there that wouldn't hesitate to hurt you for their benefit. With the way things have become, people will gladly kill to gain from those lower than them. I wrote Stalkers in a state of mental paranoia over the thought of never being able to catch a break from obsessive quote-unquote stalkers, whether through online or from personal experiences. I was worried as a content creator I'd eventually reach the point of creating a fan base that seeks to know everything about me and violate every personal barrier and wall I'd attempt to put up. I take a fan to creator distance very seriously, and if that's violated, that's a huge problem for me. My privacy is important to me, and I strive to make a distinction between myself as live and learn and myself for who I am outside the internet. Yeah, that was a song I wrote pretty much fueled entirely from paranoia. Again, this album is pretty old. I started this in 2021 when I first released the old version of Vigilante. Stalkers I wrote, I think, a year or two later. And, yeah, it's very spooky. It is, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like its own weird genre. Yeah. This was a song. I will say that. It is a song. Let me make a new poll. I put Mutiny in A already. Yeah, okay. So, new poll for Stalkers. Stalkers are scary. I agree. I'm not going to get too into this, but I will say I have had an actual experience with someone who was kind of a borderline online stalker, and that was not fun. So that kind of somewhat fueled the song. That whole thing is over now, thankfully, and I'm not gonna like give names, but I will say it was just kind of not fun being paranoid that this person would find out personal information about me, and I was much more careful about the things I posted online. I was a lot more open about posting things about myself back then. Like, I used to show my face, and I mentioned the state I lived in before and stuff like that. And then this person is just kind of like openly sharing that, and I'm like, don't do that. So I hide my face now, and I do not share the state I live in, among many other personal things. With that said, stalkers poll. S-A-B-C. Boop. Okay. Stalkers poll is in the chat, and I will pull up the video for stalkers. Oh, this one's not a visualizer either. The lyric video was done by Crafted Brother 05. He's awesome. I just found out about him recently and through an online friend, and I'm very happy that I met him and got to work with him because he's really cool. And the art in this video was done by Sparks Iris, otherwise known as Sora, who is also in one of my online friend groups. So thank you, Sora, for the video. Thank you, Crafted Brother. Or thank you, Sora, for the art. Thank you, Crafted Brother, for the video. With that said, stalkers! When it loads. Yeah, Stalkers. I'm already seeing comments saying people think this is their favorite. I'm genuinely surprised because this was such a weird song for me. I kind of don't like it, but that's just me. And also probably because I've heard this album so many times that I've like listened to these songs to death. So half of the album's just sort of like kind of annoying because of how many times I've heard it, which is normal, I guess. Um, Live If I Made My Own FNAF song. Oh my gosh, imagine if I made a Five Nights at Freddy's song. Nerdcore is a whole nother thing for me. Like, I definitely had my nerdcore phase, and I think I even started a couple nerdcore songs of my own, but I'm probably not going to finish. But the fan bases of most of the nerdcore communities is just like, it genuinely scares me because I do not want to be locked to like one song or one franchise. So I'm nervous to even dabble in nerdcore. But yeah, I mean, now that you say that, it could probably be a Five Nights at Freddy's song. Not well, not really, but I mean, like the sound, maybe. I don't know. Giving shadows from aviators mixed with evanescence, the distortion of the voice. Oh, okay. I haven't heard shadows in a long time, and evanescence, I only know the one popular song. So, loved the ending. Why is my favorite of each of the album always the artist's least favorite? I don't know. That tends to happen, I guess. Live, yeah. Thank you, Alex. Thank you for the hype. And Sora entered the chat because I pinged them and I was like, hey, I'm doing the video with your art in it right now. So thank you, Sora, for joining the stream, or at least popping in to say hello. I appreciate that. Thank you again for the art. It looks amazing. It makes the video very much better and spooky. So thank you for that. Yeah, but in terms of nerdcore, it's very, very unlikely I'm going to make a nerdcore song. Or if I am, it's probably just going to be like disguised as an original song. Because again, like the fan bases and communities kind of scare me. Yeah. Fan base is just secondary most of the time. Yeah, I agree. Okay. Stalkers seems to be winning with an S tier. That got a lot of votes, either S or A. People really like this one. Okay, Stalkers will be an S tier on the tier list. Okay. What's next? Oh, okay. This next song is another bit of a weird one. It's like probably like the darkest song I've ever made. It's called Crimson, and this is the one that I kind of took inspiration from Aviators with this one. It's a dark orchestral piece, and I threw in like a lot of dissonance and just notes that generally don't work together to kind of create like that really off-putting sort of sound to it. Yeah, let me read the description. Okay. Crimson takes bloodlust to the heaviest extreme, where we live in a world with no choice but to be armed to the teeth and prepared for anything, or risk losing your life, even if it means making sacrifices just to stay alive. This is probably the edgiest song I've ever written. The main theme of this song is the concept of feeling that your life is about to end and you feel far from prepared for it. You can't help but look back at your mistakes and feel shame and regret. You look back at your past and beat yourself up over what you should have or could have done. At this point, it just feels like a race to last as long as you can until your ultimate demise. I took the concept of the fear of death and put it into a poetic and dramatic sort of perspective. Yeah, this is a very spooky one. And this was also the song that I almost collabed with the Aviators on. Just as a fun little fun fact for you guys. I did send him an early version of the song, and I kept like wanting to change it and just not knowing what to do with it. And I ended up revising the song twice. So this is the third version of Crimson. The other two were kind of similar. The first one was in 5/4 timing because I wanted to get like real experimental with that. And I had like a full song written out, but I didn't have a way to put the melody over it. So there's a whole instrumental, but no lyrics. And I ended up redoing it to be a song in 3/4. It was a lot more simple. I kind of took inspiration from Caleb Hyles' song, Sometimes You Just Forget Things, with a lot of like plucked strings at the beginning and just like a really simple, like steady beat going on throughout the whole thing. Kind of sound like Legend of Korra in the chorus. I could play those demos afterwards, maybe. But yeah, this is the third version. Alright, Crimson, I've been waiting for this one. Yeah, Dante. Dante has heard Crimson before because I released the album early by accident, and he happened to hear Crimson in its early, well, not in its early stage, but before I made some more changes to it, because again, it was still in a demo stage back then. Yeah. So here's the final, most current version of Crimson.
Feel the frozen grip of despair. Breathe the tension in the air. Succumb to the dangers lurking inside. Watch as madness takes its prize. The taste of blood has stained these lips, taking heed in every step. Feel submission stealing our breath. One by one submit to death. Are you ready to face your demise? Meet the maker of solemn design. Sense your fate yet to come. Feel regret for the things that you've done. Survival favors the risk we take. Hunger forced our hand to slay. Kill to live and live to kill. Save ourselves a place in hell. Are you ready to face your demise? Meet the maker of solemn design. Can you sense your fate yet to come? Feel regret for the things that you've done. Feel the fire that burns us alive. Take a life or get left behind. Black or white or crimson red. Don't look back or lose your head. Fatal is the way of the hateful. Painful is the taste of betrayal. Whatever we become. Are you ready to face your demise? Meet the maker of solemn design. Can you sense your fate yet to come? Feel regret for the things that you've done. Feel the fire that burns us alive. Take a life or get left behind. Black or white or crimson red. Don't look back or lose your head.
Oops, there we go. Okay. Yeah, that was Crimson. Let me read through the comments. I accidentally released a song early once, and it said it was a surprise release because it was finished anyway. Yeah, it happens. I feel that. Is it just me, or does it sound like a horror song? That was definitely what I was going for. I've had my fair share of trying to compose in like a horror genre, mostly for Veilstorm. Some of the OG people here will remember that. Veilstorm is a product that I was a part of several years ago. I made 2 albums with them, and some of the songs I made were like in a electronica spooky sort of genre. So I definitely have my fair share of playing with horror a lot, and playing with fire, but dark. Yeah, that was very dark, a very dark song. Oh man, this is dope. Ah, thank you. Live to Kill, Live to Kill. Love it. I'm making that my username for the next Halloween on Discord. I think this might be my favorite so far. I love songs in 3/4 or 6/8. Thank you. I need to play with more time signatures anyway, so I'm glad I got to make this in a song, or I'm glad I got to make a song that was not in 4/4. There's a couple others here too that are in 3/4 or 6/8, and by a couple I mean like one or two more. What else do we have here? Giving me Once Upon December vibes from Anastasia. That's good though. Lullaby song in terms of darkness though. Once Upon December is such a banger. I love Anastasia so much. That song is so pretty. It's like eerie but also nostalgic, which I think is what they were going for. I feel like my song's a lot heavier and darker than that song, but that's an interesting comparison to make. I'm a sucker for Twisted Waltzes. I'm ranking this as a third favorite out of the 5 I've heard so far. Thank you, Brutsy. Appreciate it. Not my personal favorite, but the bridge is really strong. IMO. Thank you. And again, I am totally open to critiques, so if you guys don't like the songs, you're welcome to be completely honest with me. I will not be offended. Liv and Tim Burton collab when? Oh, that'll be interesting. I make a dark film for Tim Burton and I score the soundtrack. That'll be interesting. I would have to really work on it before. Yeah. So that. I just got a notification that OBS disconnected. Now it reconnected. So the stream may have cut out. I apologize if that happened. This song kind of reminded me of Lies of P. Ooh, okay. My sister loves Lies of P, and I've seen gameplay of it. And it is very spooky and very cool. I can appreciate it. I've definitely gotten thoughts on each one, but character limits are too much. LOL. We'll definitely tell you once we make it through it all. Yeah, no, go for it. We can definitely critique the album towards the end. Yeah. And we're getting on to what I consider the better half of the album. Up next, we have Appetite featuring Swiblet. Some of you guys may remember the song from 2022 or 2023, one of those two. I remastered it. All of my singles that are in this album are remastered. And yeah, like they're completely polished up, and I think they sound so much better than the older versions. Like there's new vocals, new guitar amps, some new drum patterns here and there. I tweaked some compositions. I think they sound so much better. I'm honestly probably going to delete the old versions off music stores because I cannot even bear to listen to them anymore. But yeah, Appetite. King Kwong, yes. Swiblet, we love Swiblet. He's awesome. I am so happy I got to collab with him. He's amazing. Very talented singer. He's cool. We love Swiblet. And let me read the description for Appetite. Oop, there's a typo here. Fearful to angry. Appetite, angrily close. Okay. Appetite shifts the focus of the album from fearful to angry. Appetite angrily calls out the one that started this whole ordeal. When we've become so dependent on those higher than us, we can't take care of ourselves anymore and have no choice but to submit to their bidding. They failed us by lying to us and letting us die off. Now we need to take action ourselves, and a lot of anger is starting to build up. On a personal level, I wrote this song to call out attention seekers, using the analogy of a monstrous appetite. These types of people are obsessed with themselves, thinking the whole world revolves around them. They continue to live a life of false pride, taking away from others to feed their starving ego. They don't know a world outside of continuously feeding their pride, or that it's even possible to live a life of humility. It feels satisfying to see them fall, but deep down you can't help but pity them for not understanding a better alternative. Halfway through reading that, I realized I forgot to put up the new poll and put Crimson on the tier list. Crimson is also S tier by the looks of it. I got like a lot of overwhelming S votes on that one. So I will put Crimson on S. A lot of S songs so far. That makes me happy. I'm sure that's probably subject to change once we hear the entire album in its whole context. So I'll give you guys time to change your votes if you feel there are songs you liked more than others. Excuse me. But did I forget to do anything else on here? Let me end the poll and put one for Appetite up. I'm looking forward to it. Remastered, yes. How many times did you remaster the remaster? Change the song ever so slightly because I'm a perfectionist. Will, you know me too well. Appetite wasn't one that I was too picky about, thankfully. It's mostly pretty much the same. I just chopped off a couple measures here and there. The only thing I was really picky about was the guitar amps, because I was like really, really trying to learn how to properly mix amps, and I was not very good at them prior to the remaster. And I had to like ask a lot of friends online for their input on that, because I happen to know friends who are good with mixing guitar on songs for like rock and metal genres. So yay for having friends and connections. We love that. That was very helpful. So I think I at least know how to mix guitars at least somewhat better now. The vocals I redid as well. Swobit's vocals are the same. But I was a little picky with how I mixed those as well. But yeah, like the guitar amps was like the main thing I was super, super picky on. Let me put up a poll for Appetite. Oop, that is the wrong button. Appetite. No, that's a chat. There we go. Start a poll. Appetite. S-A-B-C. This one I'm excited about. I'm really excited. I love Appetite. I think it turned out so good. And this also has a lyric video. The lyric video was done again by Crafted Brother 05. Thank you, Crafted Brother. You're awesome. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. Here is Appetite remastered. One, two, three, four!
Into that, you've got a need to bite that in their feet, constantly craving, too busy taking, feed that empty mind, pleasure and pride, this monstrous appetite eats you up alive.
And two-faced, nothing but a waste, endless consumption, boundless destruction,
Privileged yet whining, moral declining, starved for the spotlight, stepping out of line.
Gluttony is a terrible sin. Why don't you sink your teeth into that? You've got a need to bite the hand that feeds, constantly craving, too busy taking, feed the empty mind, pleasure and pride, this monstrous appetite eats you up alive.
Woo! Appetite! That one's so much fun. Looking through the chat, it seems everyone else really likes this one as well. That was a lot of fun. And I forgot to mention, again, since AAA is lurking in the chat, thank you, AAA, for helping me write the song. He wrote the bridge, and I had my friend Nate he redid the guitar at the beginning and the chorus. He's a much better guitarist than me, so thank you, Nate, for doing the guitars. You're amazing. The three of us had a band at one point, too, in college, and that was a lot of fun. We played a lot of gigs, and they were some bangers that we played, including Appetite. I've gotten to play Appetite live before, which is a lot of fun. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Rest in peace, our band. But yeah, AAA and Nate are awesome. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Let me read through the comments. I think I've heard "bite the hand that feeds" more than anything else. LOL. Yeah, that is a line I used a lot in this song, to be fair. This is what I'm talking about. Sounds so much better. It reached the goal of volume. Yeah, my mastering, I feel like, is definitely improved, so I hope that definitely is reflected in my work in this album. So, yeah, I'm so proud of Appetite. It sounds so much better. Imagine Nate Wants to Bow was the duo just saying this person was amazing, gave me that vibe. Yeah, no, unfortunately, the Nate I'm referring to is not Nate Wants to Battle, but, yeah, no, Nate is really talented. He has his own music, too. Check out Nathan Lai. He has, I think, 2 albums now on his discography. Yeah, Nate's cool. We love Nate. S tier. I'm back. I just had to call 911 on people outside threatening to kill each other. Oh my gosh. That is rough. I hope they're okay. Keep me posted on that. That is actually really scary. Yeah, I hope that goes smoothly and no one gets hurt because that's concerning. Yeah. On that note, Appetite seems to be winning. Oh, wow. Yeah, definitely got a lot of good votes on Appetite. Lots of them were S tier. One was A. Yeah, people love Appetite. That makes me happy. I'm very proud of Appetite. Appetite is getting an S. And since we have a lot of S's, like, I'll go through these again, like I said. And you guys can, like, vote which ones you like the most. We can kind of play with this bit. And then I'll make my tier list. And we'll get to compare those. Okay. Die. I killed the poll. Okay. Up next, we have the title track, Playing with Fire. This is another single I previously released. This one also got remastered. And let me go through the crowd vocalists listed here, because again, some of the crowd vocalists are in this chat right now. We have Phantom Reaper. Will, thank you for your voice. We have... Who else is in here? Let me list off a few other people. Alex was another voice. Thank you, Alex, for your amazing voice. Appetite seems to have satiated our appetite. Thank you. I agreed. It satiated my appetite, too. Who else is in the chat? Swipplate was also in this song, too. Fun fact, he was also in the crowd. AAA was also in Appetite. Is that it for everyone that's here? Was Alpha in this one? I don't think he was. Yeah, lots of people, lots of friends were in the song. I'm just reading through them again, make sure I didn't miss anyone. Yeah, I also had Enu Trash in the song too. Sora was in the song. Who was some other big names? Moon Raccoon was a collaborator I worked with a long time ago. I got Moon to sing in the song as well. I got Nova MC. Some of you guys might be familiar with Nova, who mostly does a lot of beatboxing stuff. He's awesome. Mojo King was in the song. He's the other half of Supernova Revival, one of my other bands. Very nice, deep, resonant bass voice. We love that. Same with Alex, too. I love your very low range. It is very cool, and I love the resonance in your voice. Hero Noodle, he's cool. I gotta collab with him eventually. Equiston, Alex Dev Styles, fantastic at making one walks out. Kenny Young was in this song, too. Kenny is awesome. I worked with Kenny on one of these songs, but I ended up picking somebody else for a different song. I'll get to that when we get to the song, which I think is up next, actually. Ew, who's that guy? Hi. Yep, you guys were in the song. We love that. C, hello, C, you're in the chat. Thank you for joining, C. C was also in the song. You have an amazing soprano voice. We got to collab at some point. We love you, C. Who else? Who is in the chat? I can't see who else is in the chat unless you're talking, so I don't know. Can I see all the messages in the chat? That would be wonderful. I've been waiting for this tracks remaster for a long time. Let's go. Yeah, Playing with Fire. I remember talking to you last night about this, Dante. You were definitely saying this is one of your favorites. So, yeah, I'm excited to see your reaction to this one. Is that everyone that I mentioned? I think, yeah. I kind of skipped over a few people that weren't in the chat. But, yeah, lots of people were in this song. I don't remember the exact number. But again, it's like 40, 50 something. So thank you to everyone who were in the song, one of those two. You guys are awesome. Thank you for making this crowd amazing. This is my Voices of the Crowd song too. I know Aviators does that with his songs. He has like, with most of his album releases that are more recent, he would do at least one song that has a crowd in it. Just for those of you who aren't aware. And I decided to do that with one of my own songs as well. So I made a crowd of people singing in the bridge in the final chorus. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. I recruited a few people from Aviators' server. And now they're in my server and my song. So thank you to the Aviators people who are now here. I put Appetite on the tier list. Yeah, I did. And I ended the poll. They ran off, police haven't arrived, common occurrence here. Okay, well, as long as nobody's hurt. Cool. No, Will, I like your voice too. Don't say that. I like your voice. You just gotta have some faith in yourself. F. My whistly braces. I've had braces for almost a year now. And, yeah, I mix my F's and V's very whistly. Yeah, we love that. Playing with Fire. This has another visualizer made by yours truly, so no lyric video for this one. But, this is another 3/4 song too, which is very fun. With that said, let's play the song.
In the midst of madness, sparks your revolution. Take advantage of the fear inside our hearts. Show us the way. Let your sights of grandeur be your ammunition. I see the way you lust, I see the way you drool over all your prey. Claim innocence, but you're caught in this act. We started the fire, but you're holding the match. Sealing your fate, no intent to turn back. Ignorant bliss is the way you attack. Light your match and pour the gasoline. Watch it ignite. You're in love with danger, love to turn right to wrong. Fall enslaved to greed as you fan the flames of your spite. Call yourself a savior, but deny yourself the law. Claim innocence, but you're caught in this act. We started the fire, but you're holding the match. Sealing your fate, no intent to turn back. Ignorant bliss.
Playing with Fire. This one was a lot of fun. As you can probably tell, I rewrote a lot of lyrics in this one, especially in the verses. I think it sounds a lot better. I think it definitely like made the points I was trying to make in the original lyrics, but like more poetic and more clearly, rather than just like literally just kind of in your face, boring, whatever. Like it's actually, I don't know. I think it's a lot better with the way I wrote it out. It's 100 times better. Thank you, C. Appreciate it. This brings me back, LOL. I immediately heard myself, no. I know, it do be that way. Just the weird part of your brain that yells at you and you're just like, ew, it's my voice. I feel that. I totally get that. Sorry, I'm just checking something real quick. Yeah, that was a song. That one, I didn't do too much with the instrumental. It's mostly just the lyrics I remastered in that one. I did like adjust the mix and master, of course, but the composition was pretty much the same, I believe. I may have done like some really small tweaks here and there, but yeah, it's pretty much the same with the instrumental. Mostly just the changed lyrics and polished mix and mastering. Hopefully it's a lot better. I think that one was a lot of fun. How is the votes looking? Another S tier. We got an A vote. We got some B votes. Okay, cool. I guess I'm gonna put this on S as well. Let me see. Appetite was pretty high up, so I'm just gonna move that to higher on the S tier. And again, we'll adjust these votes at the end. And again, like, you guys don't have to be so super kind with the votes. I don't mind if you're completely honest. You can vote C if you don't like the song. I do not care. I'm just here to make this to see everyone's honest opinion, so you don't have to sugarcoat it, but also not trying to downplay the album too much. The end build-up, I mean, this song is fire, pun intended. Hilarious. The build-up was such an improvement. This Phantom Reaper guy threw off the words of the whole song. No, you were so good, Will. And I made sure everyone's vocals lined up as, like, pretty much, like, what's the word? Like, I made sure all the vocals lined up. So even if you were off tempo, I made it better. So it's not that you were bad. It's just like I just did it for the sake of consistency and cleanliness in the song. So the vocals aren't kind of just like all over the place and messy. So yeah, thank you, Alex. I appreciate that. Yeah. Okay. Well, did I? Oh, I forgot to read the description, didn't I? Yeah, I forgot to read the description. Okay. Well, I'm going to read the description for Playing with Fire. Playing with Fire is the title track of the album, serving as a warning to those greedy with power. When one begins to rise to power from the demise of others, they must tread with caution before losing sight of knowing just how corrupt their actions are. While a vigilante, pun intended, attempts to stop the oncoming disaster, it all comes down to if their warning will be heard and regarded. We started the fire, but you're holding the match. More generally, Playing with Fire can be applied to seeing a friend or a loved one of yours treading down a path you know is harmful to them, and you feel helpless to pull them out. They think they have full control of themselves and their life, but this false sense of pride is only making them into something worse. You worry that your warners are going in one ear and out the other, and it hurts. It angers you how oblivious they are to their actions, yet they refuse to stop what they started. The circumstances are unfair, and it feels like you can't do anything to fix it. Yeah. Yeah, that's Playing with Fire. And, yeah, I definitely gave like a much deeper meaning with the lyrics I wrote. I try to make like all my songs have both a personal meaning as well as like a, like a puzzle piece into the lore of this album. So they're all kind of like a double-edged sword. With that said, oh, let me end the poll before I forget. Playing with Fire was S tier. Yippee! So many S tiers. My next song is called False Believers. This is another featuring, this song is another featured artist. I got Gatto Paint on this song. So we have False Believers featuring Gatto Paint. Yeah, Gatto was a pleasure to work with. He's fantastic on guitars and drums. Honestly, I should have asked him to help me with the drums because I didn't really think to until way after the song. So, a little too late for that, but there's always next time. We love Gatto. He's cool. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Like, my brain was just like, hang on a second. but I don't remember what I was gonna say. It'll probably come to me. Yeah, Gatto Paint. He's cool. Oh yeah, I remember now. I forgot to mention. I've been getting vocal lessons for screaming recently. I've been learning to scream for about over a year now. And if you listen closely, you may have noticed a few screaming Easter eggs in my songs. There was a scream in Stalkers, there was a scream in Crimson, and False Believers has an entire chorus of screaming vocals in the background. So you get to hear my silly little false chord screams. Very spooky, very unlike my personality and music, I'm sure. But I like to surprise people, I guess. I'm sure some of you guys remember my With You cover I did. That was my first cover with screaming in it. That was a time. At first I was sort of like, wow, this is so cool. But afterwards I was just kind of like, this kind of needs work. So I'm a little picky with my screams as well. So I kind of want to wait to have like really good takes before I actually upload stuff. Oh, Skittle's in the chat. Hi, Skittle. Thank you so much for your artwork. You're amazing. Thank you for joining the stream. And again, everyone who isn't aware, Skittle did the art for Playing with Fire. The background you're seeing right now is also drawn by Skittle. Skittle, you are amazing. Thank you so much. You're super talented. Yeah, so we're like halfway through the set list now. We're on track number 8. False Believers. The video was done by, again, Crafted Brother of 05. Thank you so much, Crafted Brother. And thank you again to Gatto Paint for your vocals. And let's get this video playing.
Are numbered, you'll set us free, or so you claim to say. Wait and you'll see that not all your cards will be in your favor. Not everyone worships a make-believe savior.
Rise from the ashes, seize us by force, hijack the throne and command shall be yours. Influence is strong when you build reputation. Keep up the pretense, assume domination. By the time when I refuse to comply,
Must be a privilege you get to play God. Your gimmick is failing, your logic is flawed. No one can touch you while you get to reign. No ounce of repentance, no guilt in your veins.
cooperation to every instruction. Process machinery, distorted vision.
Hiding behind all the claims that you make. Let's see how much that your castle can save. Watch you take the reins, but I refuse to obey.
Must be a privilege you get to play God. Your gimmick is failing, your logic is flawed. No one can touch you while you get to reign. No ounce of repentance, no gift in your veins.
Tight leash controlling, no chance of withholding. Yet no one objects to your high-handed ruling. No one can stand to withhold under pressure. Your false believers won't love you forever. Tyranny knows no such name as mercy. Kindness is a weakness, sadly. Fraud has no room in the upright. time will soon run out, and you will meet your demise. Must be a privilege you get to play God. Your gimmick is failing, your logic is flawed. No one can touch you while you get to reign. No ounce of repentance, no guilt in your veins. Silence controlling, no chance of withholding. That no one objects to your high-handed ruling. No one can stand to withhold under pressure. Your false believers will love you forever.
Sorry. Okay, I'm unmuted now. Cool. Yeah, that was False Believers. I'm a huge fan of how that one turned out. I'm very happy with that one. Yeah, and the screams were also false chord screams. I was debating on redoing them recently because, again, of course, I have to do stuff right at the last second. But I ended up just keeping the old ones. But because I was planning on redoing them because I learned how to do fry screams, which are a different type of scream, which is a little harder to do and took me a lot longer to learn as opposed to false chord. That's funny. False chord, false believers. That was completely unintentional. But yeah, I ended up keeping the old false chord screams. So my fry screams are getting there, I'd say. I think I need to work on being more confident with my volume and just being louder with those. False chord's a lot easier to be louder. Let me just real quick. I'm gonna grab a water and I'm gonna try doing them. This is probably gonna go terribly. So let me first hydrate. Because again, hydrate or dihydrate, people. So False Believers is gonna be up there for me. Ah, so good. Thank you. Okay. False chord screams. I like doing guttural, specifically like the really low ones. False chord guttural would sound like this. A little sore from talking so much, so it might not sound great. But yeah, for that one I was just I did mid screams for the final chorus, and then I did like a layer of high screams on the last line. Man, I'm like running out of breath here. Oh my gosh. So at the end, anyways. Nope. I'm not gonna bother. I'm too exhausted to pull them off now. Oops. Sorry, just adjusting my mic. Yeah. I'm too strained to do a scream right now. I'm sorry. I would have done it otherwise. Yeah, I get to hear Liv dying sounds instead. I hope that at least works for you. False Believers is getting a lot of S votes. Yay. False Believers is fun. I'm very happy with this one. Is my mic good? Hello? Okay, I kept touching the cable, that's why. False Believers looks like it's pretty high up there too, so I'm gonna put that, like, yeah, around there. Stalkers is pretty popular too, so I'll move that up. Crimson, Playing with Fire. Crimson's probably a bit lower. Okay. I remember when you were just starting to learn. I know, that was a year ago by now. Sorry. Yeah, that was fun. I also posted like a few progress updates of me trying to scream in one of my chats on my server, where it's just like voice memo recordings of me attempting to fry scream. I'd like to hope they've gotten stronger and louder over time, because I'm told by my vocal coach that they are. Also, I don't know if you guys know Voice Hacks, Mary Z. She's my vocal coach. She's kind of big on YouTube. She's cool. We love her. Yay, Mary. Let me read through some of the comments again. Lamborghini and Leonard. I know. I'm sorry. I was muted, but I'm no longer muted. This is now my second favorite. Ooh, okay. Thank you. Is your second favorite as well? Okay, interesting. A lot of second favorites. Yeah. That was a song. I like that one a lot. What do we have up next? Oh, I didn't read the description, did I? Yeah, I forgot to read the description. I keep doing that. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. The description for false believers, for context. As one continues to rise to power, they gain traction through drawing in followers. Unbeknownst to them, their new savior does not have the intention of saving anyone. A vigilante standing at the sidelines knows their true intention, but the words of one person may not be enough to put down their supposed savior, especially with the numbers of supporters they're gaining. False Believers connects the concept of an influencer rallying their audience or friends into acts or beliefs that are entirely one-sided in benefiting the influencer. This is from the perspective of an outsider who can see perfectly through the ruse this so-called leader puts on. You, as the outsider, are infuriated seeing the success this person gains, not through their genuine acts, but from doing what they know is wrong. It angers you seeing them continue to succeed, when you know deep down they don't deserve it from many of the things they're doing and the lies they're spreading. More than anything, it annoys you seeing how people are falling for this ruse and are more interested in that than someone real or genuine, or something real or genuine. Yeah, so this song is sort of like calling out like leaders in power that are just corrupt and abusing their power. Because that's not very nice. We don't like that, especially if it's at the expense of other people. The Jake Paul of the apocalypse. Yeah. Going through the comments again. Teehee. Well, let me end the poll. That was False Believers. Is that everything? I put that on the tier list. Okay. Next song. This is probably one of my favorites. This one is called Who Died and Made You King. And, yeah, let me read the description for that one. A false savior has fully risen to a power high enough to reach a level of authority. Their intentions have been revealed, and things have only gotten worse. Since the beginning of their reign, people have been taken advantage of. More lives have been lost. Freedom was waved around in the air, only to be crushed right in front of us. Enraged, a vigilante decides to step up again and decides to have a word with this new so-called savior. This time, the vigilante intends to bring them down for good. Applied to a personal perspective, Who Died and Made You King contains a lot of anger towards seeing someone gifted with authority and power misusing what they have. This can also apply to seeing someone who has such a high regard for themselves that they often use their inflated confidence, but in this case, not only to take, but to completely trample over others. Who Died and Made You King begs the question to such people who take advantage of what they have, or takes advantage of what they have no right to have. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Yeah, so this song is kind of similar to False Believers in terms of the context, but it's sort of like, instead of like, why are you rallying up people to do bad stuff, this is sort of like, okay, now you're in a position of authority, and you don't deserve that because you're not doing a good job, I guess. I guess that's one way to put it. Wild Dragon ended up being late to the stream, so I'm behind on the songs, but really love playing with fire. It's sort of like remaster and revamp on Don't Play with Fire. The whole album, at least to my delayed listening, has been really great so far. Thank you for joining, Wild Dragon. I appreciate that. I will be releasing the album as soon as I get to the end of it on the stream, so you'll get to hear the whole thing in your free time. I hope you enjoy the rest of the album. Yeah, so Who Died Made You King. That is probably one of my favorite ones I've written, as I've said. That one's definitely up there for me on my tier list, as I will get to. Let me make the poll, and then I will play the song for you guys. Who Died and Made You King. This is also a really old one, too, that I wrote. Probably like one of the earliest sets of lyrics I've written. Boop. This is like a, not really symphonic one, but it's like a mix of pop and orchestral. Singer-songwriter, sort of. Yeah. Okay. And the video was done by the amazing Search for Apollo. Fantastic lyric video maker. He's amazing at what he does. I think you guys will really like the lyric video, especially for this one. With that said, here is Who Died and Made You King.
the blame. What have you become? Took what's not yours, never playing fair, taken by force, a shallow crown you wear. When things had changed and stars aligned, you took your place and I took mine. You left your heart behind, shooting glances that could kill. All you wanted was control. Your power comes with strings. Look at yourself, mighty and high. Enjoy the view from your throne of lies. Beyond the law, doesn't that sound fun? Feet of the weak, tell yourself you've won. When things had changed and stars aligned, you took your place and I took mine. You left your heart behind. Where did all your reason go? All you ever did was boast, but never stopped to think. Made you king. Cheat the system, change the game. Righteousness will have no say. Your heavy ego won't get you far. A trembling coward is all you are. Admit you failed, give up that crown. Your crumbling throne won't save you now. Things had changed, stars aligned. You took your place and I took mine. You left your heart behind. Unjust steps seem so divine. You should have never crossed the line. You should have seen the signs. Where's your fortune? Where's your fame? Where's your riches? Where's your grace? Now look what karma brings. Made you king.
Woo! Who Died and Made You King? What a banger. We love that one. Let me see through the chat again. This one got legs. Woo! Hamilton vibes. I have not heard Hamilton. I've only heard some of the songs, so not exactly sure how I can compare that, but thank you. Slay, you got an S from me, Liv. Woo! Thank you, Dante. Appreciate it. The vocal only end, my goodness. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I did a lot of layering with the harmonies there. I thought it'd be kind of cool to just like end it with like just the vocals, just cut off the instrumental kind of suddenly there. That was a lot of fun. This fits the background of your album as well as Playing with Fire. Thank you. Yeah, love the lyric video for that one. That one I think looks so good. Yeah, I guess that one's more of my orchestral leaning pieces. The more pop or orchestral ones I have are kind of more like Quarantine or Mutiny. Those ones are more like a mix of pop and orchestral. But that one I think is more orchestral or singer-songwriter because it's mostly like led by the piano in there. Yeah, that one, again, that was probably one of my oldest songs I've written. But in terms of like the instrumental, that came out much later. That's probably was that the last song I wrote? May have been the last song no. Let me look at the set list again. Now let me see if I can remember. Yeah, no, maybe it was the last song I wrote. Yeah. A little funny how that was one of my earliest lyrical pieces, and then my last song. I have like a very specific way with how I write lyrics is like, the way I do it is I jot down like concepts and phrases and ideas in like a physical notebook. And then I flesh out the lyrics on Google Docs. So I would like take those ideas and then like use them as a guideline to rewrite the lyrics. Sometimes I'll like directly take lyrics from those and then move them over, but most of the time I just like use that as a guideline. So I wrote out the lyrics like 2020, I think. And then I actually finalized the lyrics as I was making the song, which is like a really simple piano, like da da da, like really simple melody there. Yeah, that one was fun. Let me see how the poll did on that one. Oh, A tier. Okay, I'm surprised. All A tier votes. Oh, it's only. Oh wait, no, the votes are updating. Nope, never mind. Okay, it just updated. S tier. Some A tier votes, one B tier vote. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, I'll put that as or not A tier, S tier. Put that like in the middle, I think, between Stalkers and Quarantine. Let me read the comments again. Your style is somewhat edgier, or somehow edgier emo, lol. That's the thing though, like I feel like my personality is not someone who is very depressed often, but a lot of my songs are just like, I like being angry and sad for some reason, so that ends up being a lot of my songs. When I heard the name of this track, I thought of VeggieTales or something, lol. I don't see how you would have made that connection, but sure. I mean, I did cover his Cheeseburger with AAA, who does like a stunningly realistic impression of Mr. Lunt, by the way. Check that out on my channel. It's still there. That was probably one of my most popular videos on that channel, which I think is so funny. But no, like he has like an amazing talent for doing an impression of Mr. Lunt. And he was over at my place one time, and I was gonna surprise him with the instrumental, and I was like, I'm gonna just surprise you with this. And then I was just suddenly like, oh yeah, so I made his Cheeseburger cover, and now you have to sing it. And he was like, oh, okay. He just like recorded it in one take. And I was like in the background trying not to like audibly laugh. It was so funny. Oh my gosh. So I just used like that one take. I just mixed it. I sang backups on it. And I made a really silly video for it. And it's on my channel. It is one of my top performing videos. Yeah, that was fun. I missed that. Yeah. Okay, so that's mostly us. I'm looking at the tier list again. Okay. Let me end the poll. Who died and made you king? Okay. Ooh, okay. So up next, we have another remaster of my song Vigilante, which was the first song I made. I released that in 2021, and I remastered it. So vocals are new. The instrumental has some changes here and there. I think it's a lot fuller, like a lot more bigger orchestral, instead of just like 2 or 3 layers of strings like it was before. So definitely tried a lot with that one. So it's a lot fuller, I'd say. And let me read the description. If one person can't save us, what else can we do? A vigilante still insists it's worth trying, even when so many of us are so far gone. There has to still be some good left in the world, and it's up to them to find it. If we can't heal on our own, someone has to help us heal. Vigilante can also be interpreted in more of a broad spectrum as anyone that wants to try to bring back goodness, even in a bleak environment that seems next to impossible. It's still worth a shot, and someone has to do it. If no one else will, it's up to you. It's something that many of us tend to forget or overlook because we expect someone else to do it. Sometimes we have to accept the reality that no one else can or will step up, so you'll need to be brave for those who refuse to. Yeah, this is my first song. It's just sort of like, I want to step up and fix a broken world sort of song. Sorry, my voice is like so hoarse from so much talking. I still kind of feel bad I couldn't actually scream on the stream because, again, I'm a little strained right now from talking so much. But maybe I'll get to eventually do that. But yeah, Vigilante was like, I guess this one kind of summarizes like me as a person. Like, I want to try and make a difference in the world, but I know it's hard. And I'm someone who like steps up to the plate if no one else will do something. Which is rough and hard, and I'm very self-conscious, so it's sort of like I'm embarrassed of how people will react or think of me for doing something that people aren't willing to do. But like, I have a very strong sense of justice, so if something is wrong, like, I have to fix it somehow. I have to point it out and make it better. The lyric video was done again by Search for Apollo. Thank you, Apollo, for your amazing work. And here is... Oh, let me make the poll first before I forget, because I forgot to do that the past few songs. Vigilante. That is the wrong button. Hang on. 1 second. Start a poll. Vigilante. Vigilante. S. That's an A. S. A. B. C. Okay. Now it's in the chat. Nice. Glad you had a voice of the crowd and justice exactly. Yep. Voices of the crowd and playing with fire. That was fun. Okay. Vigilante. Let's go. Woo!
Justice is gone and truth is a lie. How do we heal? How can we find the answers we need? An end to our cries in mindless expense. No thoughts left alive, lives spent in vain. Tainted inside, no one to save. Controls broken, blind, the hatred too strong. Nothing feels right, can't run away. Choice but to fight. Corruption runs free and there's no end in sight. Choking away all the strength of mankind. Left in the dark where the night never sees. A long road ahead for a vigilante. Don't understand why I'm chosen to stay. Yet all other strongholds have crumbled away. Defending the masses, alas I'm unseen. So lonely a place for a vigilante.
Hang on. What
The sweetest of lies, but poisoned within. Behind broken eyes remains only sin. A promise so false, the shallowest trade. Blank captive minds, their choice has been made. Gave into rage, under her spell. A sick, broken world, forsaken to hell. Impossibly flawed, balance has died. Despite what I'll face, I still have to fight. Corruption runs free and there's no end in sight. Choking away all the strength of mankind. Left in the dark where the night never sees. A long road ahead for a vigilante. I don't understand why I'm chosen to stay. Yet all other strongholds have crumbled away. Defending the masses, alas I'm unseen. So lonely a place for a vigilante.
What will you do when there's no one left to save you? What will you do when there's no one left to save you?
Sorry, I don't know if the song was lagging out on your end too, but I think is the video is like so high quality that my computer couldn't take it. But yeah, that was Vigilante. I added a bridge in that song, and the backing vocals are new. Yes, they are new. The old song had just lead vocals, and the bridge before was just the "What will you do when there's no one left to save you" a few times, and then it just kind of went into a chorus, and then another chorus with different lyrics. So I chopped off the extra chorus at the end, and I just replaced it with an interlude, and then it transitioned into the final chorus. And yeah, again, the backing vocals are new. I was pretty proud of the creative approach I took with that. Yeah. The intro, definitely a lot of revising in the intro, for sure. Because again, it was just strings before. Like, just a single string playing, in the original version. And then with the remaster, I was like, let's just give this, like, the whole shebang. Let's give it brass, let's give it drums, let's give it flutes, like, everything to make it a lot more orchestral. My cat was even vibing to it. I'm honored that your cat thinks my song was good enough to vibe to. That is so honoring. That's really flattering for me. Thank you so much. Would be an A, but the drums and violin are literally music to my ears. Thank you. One more time. Heck yeah, choruses. I'm not going to say that word because I don't curse. Sing it, live. Thank you, Dante. A true F if we ball moment. Oh, a true F it we ball moment. Took me a second. Let me see. That looks like another S by the looks of it, by the poll. Oh, a lot of S. Some A, a B. Okay, I'll put that towards like the closer to the front end of the tier list. Then we only have one A song. Everything else is S so far. So we're gonna have to adjust the tier list again by the end, just so everyone can compare their results and be like, okay, I prefer this song over this. So we'll get to that. We're almost done. We got 2 more songs left. It was an honor to work on both of those songs. Hi, Apollo. Thank you so much for your work. You did an amazing job, and it is a pleasure to work with you as always. Yeah, he's in the chat. Let's go. We love Apollo. Thank you. Everyone say thank you, Apollo. You're awesome. Yeah. There's that. I read the description for Vigilante. Okay. I did do that. Cool. Oh boy. I have my next song, another one of my favorites, is called Martyr. Yay. Martyr is a bit sadder. It's kind of like part 2 to Vigilante, basically. It's sort of like, welp, I did all I could. I'm probably not gonna survive this, but at least I can say that I tried. Yeah, a little depressing, but sort of like, I did what I could, and that's enough. So, it's like a bittersweet sort of ending, I guess. Well, I say ending, but there's one more song after this. But, question, Liv, is the current Playing with Fire single on Bandcamp different than the one on the album? Yes. All the singles that are on my Bandcamp are the older versions of the songs that are on this album. I released these 4 singles before I finished the album. I think before I finished the album. So they're a lot older. They're going to sound different than the ones you just heard. So the ones that you just heard will be released on Bandcamp once I get to the last song. And you'll get to see me release it in real time. Very exciting. But yeah, you can like listen to those to compare the old version to the new versions if you want to do that. But they're the same song, but not like the exact same mixes and compositions. So yeah, it's just sort of like a older version of each of those songs. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think if anything, I'm probably gonna keep the older versions just on Bandcamp. I'm probably gonna get rid of the older versions everywhere else. Because I want to clean up my discography a bit. So it's more like you can actually see how the songs were supposed to sound versus like confusing people with like, oh, why does this sound different? And I just think it's a better display of my work anyway. Yeah. Any other comments, questions before we move on to Martyr? Let me make a new poll while we were doing that. Martyr. Martyr. Martyr, I'm excited for. This one was a lot of fun. Boop. There's Martyr. I have a lyric video coming for this song. It's not done yet, so I have a visualizer for this one in the meantime. So by the time I release all the videos individually, it might be different than the one you see now. Yeah, I haven't decided on the order of each of these videos I'll be releasing. I was originally planning on doing it in like a semi-random order, but then I decided, what if I just do it in the album, or the order of the album? So first would be What If the World Was Ending, then Quarantine, then Mutiny, etc. But I don't know. I'll let you guys decide on that too. I could always change the upload order. If we'd rather have random or like in priority of which videos I think are the best or anything like that. Yeah, we'll see. When I see that word, I think of Alive Maybe-Eaters. That is a banger, Alive. I haven't heard that in a while, but that one's definitely fun. Yeah, okay. Let me pull up. Did I put Vigilante on this tier list? Yes, I did. Okay. Let's pull up Martyr, one of my favorites. And here we go. Wait, no, not yet. I forgot to read the description. Okay, good thing I caught myself there. Okay. Description for Martyr, before we play the song. Things aren't going too well now. The damage feels far too much for one person to handle. While the vigilante refuses to give up, they've reached a point where they're willing to accept that they've done the best they can and are willing to die for it. The vigilante embraces death, no longer in fear, such as those that were killed in vain before. It's okay to admit that they did everything in their power, and maybe they may not live to see it, but it has to be worth it. The vigilante's fate remains unknown. Ooh, spooky. Martyr, as one of my more tear-jerking pieces, connects to anyone that worries their efforts to make things better aren't working. Maybe you won't be able to see your good actions working before your eyes, but it still has an effect whether you realize it or not. Maybe you will never see it come into fruition, but regardless, your life and your actions are still powerful and full of meaning. Everything you do is worth it. That's a typo. Everything you do is worth it and will always be. Don't give up on life, people. Life is worth living. You're amazing, and you will always have significance to the world and to everyone around you. Everyone matters, and yeah, you're cool. So I guess it's also sort of like an anti-suicide song too, in a way. Don't die, people. Dying is bad. Okay. Yeah, with that said, here is Martyr. Woo!
By suppression, free thought is a crime. Defy the oppression, but I'm forced back in line. Watch me take a stand. I'm not afraid of death. I'll claim the upper hand, even at my dying breath. myself. All I can do is hope someday you'll change yourself. I can't change your heart, I can't change your mind. All I can do is pray that you'll open your eyes. Maybe I won't see the end, dying, but I will accept it. Maybe it won't be in vain, passing the torch to who claims it. Silence for far too long. Hope that the next will try harder. I vow that I'll carry on, even if I die a martyr.
Little editing mistake I left in there. I'll have to fix that. Yeah, that was Martyr. That one was a lot of fun. Definitely, probably like one of my best performances with the vocals. I think I recorded that in my car. Funny enough, but yeah, so I belted that in my car. The second chorus and the final chorus. But yeah, I want to kind of try to create some contrast with each chorus. So the first one was like all soft and falsetto-y with the vocals, and then chorus 2 just like bam, a lot louder. And then chorus 3, like I expanded on that a bit. Yeah, that one was a lot of fun. I love how the vocals sound, especially on that one. Let's read the comments. If you die, there'd be no more music. That's true. I don't plan on dying. That would not be good. Liv's excited to show this one. Yes, I am. I love this one a lot. First of all, getting some Plexi Fade Away vibes from this, but that could just be my DDLC brain going burr. To be fair, it is in the same key, if I remember correctly, so I understand why. And, yeah, I mean, my voice was in that song as well, so fair, I understand. What else do we have? Mars, hello. The ending for Martyr is just so good. Hello, Mars. Mars did the thumbnails for all of my videos, which you will see as they are uploading, so everyone say thank you to Mars for their amazing work. We love Mars. Very talented. Let's be real, cars are the best recording spots. Honestly, yeah. I mean, I recorded those vocals in my car. I recorded Playing with Fire in my car, too, I think. Vigilante may have also... No, that was in my room, I think. What If the World Was Ending I did at like 2 in the morning in my room, so it was really quiet, and my voice is just kind of like all tired. But that kind of fit the vibe of the song anyway, so that kind of worked in my favor. Martyr, more like Carter. I agree. Funny car, go burr. What else did I record in my car? The original vocals to Appetite I recorded in my car as well. The remaster was done in my room. False Believers... Was that also may have been in my car as well. Who Died Made You King? That was in my car too, and then I redid them again, so those were in my room. The most recent version that you heard was in my room. Martyr is getting a lot of S and A votes. I don't see any B or C, so I'll put that pretty high up on the tier list. I'll put that between False Believers and Vigilante. Okay. I'm happy seeing all the support on Martyr. We love Martyr. Yes, thank you, Mars. Okay. And we are on to our final song, excluding the bonus tracks, which I may or may not play, depending on how you guys feel about that. My final song, another remaster. This is Ceasefire. Some of you guys may remember this one. I made this song in 2022, I think. This was the second song I've ever made. And it's like an anti-war song, I guess, sort of. But yeah, I also kind of decided it'd be a good conclusion for the album. And going off the description I wrote, 1 second. Nope, never mind. How old are some of these songs? I saw Vigilante's Undertale during 2021. Yes, so Vigilante was my first song. I made that in 2021. Ceasefire I wrote in 2022. Appetite and Playing with Fire are also older. Those were released before this album. And then I remastered them, so the versions I sent you are the remastered versions, but the old versions are still on my Bandcamp. So you can find those there and compare those. Appetite was 2023, I think, was it? Yeah, that was 2023. Playing with Fire came out... Excuse me. Sorry, I keep burping a lot. That was also 2023. Okay. Yeah, those were old, oh my gosh. Yeah, so this album has technically been in progress for 4 years. I've started this with Vigilante. I think, like, after I made Ceasefire, AAA was like, hey, you should make an album out of this. And I was like, okay. So, thank you to AAA for making me make the album. Well, not making me make the album, but inspiring me to make the album. But, yeah, super, super big, long project I've been working on for a long time. And the reason why it took so long is just because I've been so picky about a lot of the songs and adjusting the mixes and the compositions again and again. Because as my skills for mixing and composing improved, I was like, hang on, I need to update this. So my mixes are pretty up to date with how I currently would mix and master, which is great because I think it sounds a lot better. I'll post a more detailed review of the album in the Discord server once I get a chance to properly listen to the whole album after the stream. Okay, yeah, sure. I would love to see your reviews. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the album. But yeah, Ceasefire. Let me read the description for that one. The climax has finally ended. The damage has been done, but now it's over. We've all started to wake up and realize the truth of what really happened. It wasn't just the fault of those higher than us or a false savior. We shed our own blood. No one is without fault here. With our sins visible against us, it's about time we start our reparations. We're going to rebuild and help each other. We can make this better starting now. Ceasefire holds a very powerful message that many of us need to hear. While in the case of the album, it was taken to a much more of an extreme, but it also does count as a metaphor. We can spill blood through the words we say or the actions we do to others. Even the smallest deeds we do can really hurt someone else. We can always make things better by starting off small. Something as simple as starting a conversation with a stranger can help make someone's day more than we might think. We can reverse the damage from others, we can reverse the damage from others by making our own efforts to make the world a better place. It's never too late to fix things, and it's up to us to take initiative. Yeah. Also, fun fact, I submitted this track to a contest. It was a contest about, like, making creative media that is, like, anti-war, and my song won second place. So Ceasefire won second place in that contest. That was fun. It was the old version I submitted, so not the current version, but I forget what the name of the contest was called, but you could probably find, they re-uploaded my lyric video with the description I sent to them. So that was fun. Waiting for it to show up on Apple Music. Can't wait to listen to it, and congrats on the album launch, Liv. Thank you, DJ. Thank you for joining the stream. I appreciate the support. I'm on the last song right now, so after this song, I'm going to release it on Bandcamp, and it should be on music stores. Technically now, I think. It's August 2nd over here, so it should be on music stores now. Unless it's supposed to release in, like, 12 p.m. my time. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to release in 12 a.m. everyone's different time zones. So depending on where you are, it'll release in midnight your time zone. Let me look it up if it's on here now. You can pre-order it, I know that. Where is it? Oh, there's the album. Yeah, the album's out. You could listen to it now on any music store, iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, Deezer, YouTube Music, wherever you listen to music. It's going to be all over there. And it'll be on Bandcamp very soon. But yeah, let's play our final video, Ceasefire. This video was done by Tendella Hop Hope. Thank you, Tendella Hop, for making this video. And with that, here is Ceasefire.
cheap desire and empathy gone. Not a soul does your virtue belong. So afraid of the things you became, falling right into the sick, twisted game. Actions done and the words that you said, devastation that left us for dead. Deathly stares and your bloodthirsty lust, hungry to kill and no one to trust. But stop and reflect at the damage you've done. The end of a war that nobody won. The trap here was set and death was its name. Lo and behold, we all bleed the same. Drop all of your weapons, let this madness end. About time we decipher rival from friend. Enough pointing fingers, instead let's inspire. Let's ask ourselves, can we finally cease fire? Distorted pleasure, a soul for a price. Don't consider the weight of a life. No fulfillment, so further you go. Hide all your shame, God forbid that it shows. All so pointless, there's nothing to gain. Just derangement and torture and pain. Taking lives, it cannot be undone. I fear it seems you've only begun. Let's stop and reflect at the damage you've done. The end of a war that nobody won. The trap here was set and death was its name. Lo and behold, we all bleed the same. Drop all of your weapons, let this madness end. About time we decipher rival from friend. Enough pointing fingers, instead let's inspire. Let's ask ourselves. You throw daggers with your eyes, while those around you face their demise. Your consequences must be disposed. Now remember, this was what you chose. Crimson hands will serve your crimes. A stone cold heart to disperse your lies. Forbidden power and cheating fate. You still have your chance, it's never too late. Let's stop and reflect at the damage you've done. The end of a war that nobody won. The trap here was set and death was its name. Lo and behold, we all bleed the same. Drop all of your weapons, let this madness end. About time we decipher rival from friend. Enough pointing fingers, instead let's inspire. Let's ask ourselves, can we finally cease fire?
And that concludes Playing with Fire. And yeah, the Crimson reference. Funny enough, I wrote Ceasefire before I wrote Crimson. So Crimson Hands was unintentionally a reference to Crimson, I guess. I kind of noticed I reuse a lot of words throughout the lyrics in this album, so you'll find some similar lyrics between some of the other songs if you look hard enough for them. I feel like that's kind of one of my shortcomings with this album. I feel like I reuse too many of the same lyrics, so hopefully with my next album I can have some more uniqueness in the words I choose in my lyrics. I try not to use the same words too many times in my songs, especially within like the same song. I try to give myself to like once, maybe twice, except for like prepositions like and, the, is, stuff like that. Words that have to be used more than once. Yeah, what else do we have? Epic album finale, thank you. I love this hits so much harder with everything going on right now in the world. I guess it's always gonna be that way, honestly. Like, the world's always gonna be a messed up place. But yeah, it's just like little things you try to hold on to make it worth living in a really messed up world. That ending, though. Yeah, wanted it to be like really soft and dramatic at the end, more close and intimate. This is definitely a conclusion. Yes, it is. Amazing. Woo! Woo, yeah. Well done. Almost done writing my thoughts now. Very good effort with your album. Thank you, Brutsy. We made history tonight, everyone. Yes, we did. My album is officially out. I'm going to put it on Bandcamp in a second, but it's out everywhere else. LOL is my main problem with writing lyrics. Yeah, everyone's going to have that problem, I'm sure. But we improve as songwriters. The more songs we make, that's essentially how we get better. It's just the more we do it, the better we get. And now I will, let's see this here list, or let's see the results. S, A, and B are also in there, so I'm going to put this in like a mid-range vote here. I'll probably put this at like between Who Died, Made You King and Quarantine. Yeah, let me, okay. I'm going to screen record myself releasing the album on Bandcamp. When I can find it. There it is. Okay. I don't know why it's zoomed in like that. Can I zoom out? Nope. Window capture. How do I zoom out? Okay. I don't know how to do that. I'll just scroll down so you can see the button. Oh no, it's gone now. What'd I do? I'm not very good at streaming, guys. I'm sorry. Capture method. Is that gonna work? There we go. I don't know why it's zoomed in like that, though. How do I fix that? Oh, wait, there we go. Okay, let me just fix that real quick so it's lined up with the screen. Boop. Well, it's not perfect, but it's good enough. Okay. Yeah, here's the magical button. Update album. Close out this because I don't need this anymore. Album is going public in... Whoop, let me make sure the release date is set to today. Yes, okay. Album is going public in 3, 2, 1. The album is now public, I think, right? No, it's not. Release pre-order. Now it's going public. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Now it's public. Okay. Yay! Playing with Fire is now on Bandcamp as well. It is on all music stores, including Bandcamp. Now let me close out of this. Boop. Go away. There we go. Yeah. Yay! It's on Bandcamp now. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all the support. Happy New Year! Yay, it's out. Let me see. Other comments. Apollo. Knowing when you began to seeing this album finally released is such a joy. Proud of you, Liv. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. What else do we have here? Ooh, my laptop is being laggy. Thank you once again, Apollo. This was so worth the wait from hearing updates and Liv talking about it from time to time to finally see your hard work paying off in the end. Yes, thank you, Apollo. And I am so proud of the album being out. Yay. Very big milestone for me. This was definitely on my bucket list for a long time. Oh my gosh, my laptop is super hot right now. I should probably close out of the chat then, so my laptop doesn't die. Press the bigger button. I did. Woo! 0p. Yeah, just reading through the chat right now. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Okay. Christmas came early this year, I guess. Even though it's August. Yeah, it's on Bandcamp now. So exciting. You can order CDs, or you can pre-order CDs. I am still waiting on the back case art. So when that's done, I will get the CDs printed and I will send them out to you guys. I will be sending them out signed or unsigned, whichever you prefer. I will hand sign each one and I will send them out personally if you choose to have them signed. But it will take longer for you to receive the CD. But yeah, I'm excited to send these out. I'm excited to hear everyone's thoughts on that. Yeah, let's look at the tier list again. Let's pull that up if I can. There we go. Okay. So this is our tier list right now. Lots of S tier songs and one A tier song. Let's balance that out a bit. So I understand like each song was a banger as we all heard it, but are there songs that we prefer more than others? Are there songs we could probably move down a bit? Please let me know in the chat and I will update this tier list for you guys. And I can't move out of this page because, wait, maybe I can. Let's screen share this page specifically. Can I do that? There we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna have this here in the side. And while that's happening, I will look through the chat and update the tier list. Oh, ceasefire is another S. I put that in the... Yeah, I did. Okay. So I can end this poll. Yeah, only one A tier list song, I guess. Very silly. Well, I could make my tier list in the meantime. Yeah, I guess I could do that. Okay. The Playing with Fire poster would be fire, though. Oh, man. I don't know where I can print a poster, but that would be cool. I know Aviators uses... What's it called again? He mentioned the name of the site he uses to order his CDs, which also includes posters. I forget what it was called. That site is pretty expensive, so I can't guarantee I can print posters as well, but I could update the Bandcamp album to have the full images if you guys would want to download those and save them as your desktop or wallpaper or anything like that. I may have to listen to the album in full since I'm biased and love Stalkers. Yeah, a lot of people seem to like Stalkers for some reason. I was genuinely surprised with that. Okay, so Stalkers is pretty popular. I'll move that up on the tier list. Do we like Stalkers more than Appetite? Because I know Appetite was also very well received. What If the World Was Ending got a lot of positive reactions as well. Mutiny, maybe not so much. That's fair. It's understandable. I think the song was a little repetitive, honestly. But again, it's my first album, so it's a new experience that I'm still learning from, so that was totally fair. Yeah, Stalkers is pretty popular. I was kind of worried that was going to happen, honestly, because I was honestly not a fan of Stalkers myself, so it was like, ew, I hope no one likes this song, and then people do like the song, so I'm going to be known as the person who made Stalkers, and I'll be like cringing to myself about it, but I mean, hey, I'll accept any sort of positivity or whatever. If you guys like Stalkers, that's fine by me. I'm just personally not a fan of it myself. Okay, you do want the album covers released. Can I add that? How do I do that? Add track, merch, initial pre-order. What else can I add? I know there's a way to do it on Bandcamp. I'm just trying to remember how to do it. It's not under the merch section, is it? Merch. No, it's not there. Okay. Go away. I'll work on that later, but I could just send it in the Discord server in the meantime. Oops. I would put Appetite and Stalkers in S, Who Died Made You King in Quarantine in A, Crimson, P, Playing with Fire, and Vigilante in B, everything else in C. C for me is still good, just separating the album up. No, you're totally good, that's fair. I could use that as like a template for everyone else. So, let me see. So Appetite and Stalkers is an S. Who Died Made You King in Quarantine is an A. One of my favorite artists hated his song so much he removed it entirely, but I managed to convince him to bring it back entirely. Or bring it back. Good. We love that. We love supporting our artists. I know the feeling too. It's just like, ew, I don't like this song. But if other people like it, I guess it's worth keeping up, right? Okay. Let's see. So you said Appetite and Stalkers is an S. Who Died Made You King will go down to B. Let me put Mutiny in C then. Or Who Died Made You King is an A. Quarantine's an A. Playing with Fire, Vigilante is in B. Crimson is in C. What if the world was ending? Is that in C as well? Crimson's still my favorite. False Believers is in second place. Okay, so I'll move Crimson up to A then, I guess. Just to even it out. Or B. False Believers is in second place. False Believers, that was also pretty well received. I'll move that up as well. So something like that. Yeah, keep it coming, guys. Let me know what else you liked. Anything you want to move down, just let me know. We vibing. Oh, I might as well put some lo-fi back on in the meantime. So we are not sitting in silence and letting our thoughts get to us too much. Because our brains are very spooky. Title. Are you gonna work? Boop. Okay. I could play through the bonus tracks as well. I didn't make videos for those. But if we do want to hear those, I could get those up and going on FL Studio and play through the audio while we decide on our votes for the tier list. Let me see. Yeah, I guess I could do that. I won't be able to stay much longer. I have 10 minutes left to do Duolingo Korean before I lose your streak. I feel you. I'm also a Duolingo user, and I'm also learning Korean on there. I kind of quit recently because I feel like the app is like kind of baiting people too much into using it rather than actually learning. So I'm kind of taking a break from it for now. But I would like to learn Korean. I think it's a lot of fun. And Kenny Young is also Korean. It'd be nice to have conversations with him in Korean, so that would be fun. Yeah, so I mean, it depends on how you guys are feeling. Like, if you guys need to leave soon, I could save the bonus tracks for Bandcamp. Or if we think we have more time to stay, then I could play through those. So either that, or I can just open up the stream to Q&A. And I'll let you guys decide on that. What if the world was ending is A tier? Crimson is an A. Quarantine's an A. Where'd the thing go? There it is. What if the world was ending is an A? Where did that go? A. Crimson's an A. Where'd Crimson go? I'll move that up to A then. Mutiny's S. Oh, okay. I was not expecting that. I'll move that up to B. Ceasefire is S. False Believers, S. Who Died Meiji King is S. Stalkers and Appetite is perfect. Yeah, those seem to be really well received. Used to learn Japanese online, but gave up after they replaced a ton of stuff with AI. Yeah, that's another reason I'm kind of avoiding Duolingo, because again, the AI stuff is kind of making it less accurate, and it does suck now, so I'm not exactly proud of that. I feel bad too, because I heard the original creator, he didn't even want to have ads on the app either, but like his company kind of talked him into doing it. So the app was supposed to be a lot better with no ads, but corporations suck. And that is lame. Yeah. Just hang out, vibe to the lo-fi. Speaking of lo-fi, actually, I was thinking of copying Nate Watched the Battle and making lo-fi versions of all the songs you just heard and releasing that separately, just for fun. I started lo-fi songs for most of them, but I think I need to redo like all of them because they're not exactly lo-fi. I'm still trying to understand how to compose in lo-fi, so I'll need to work on those and like really take notes on what makes a song sound like lo-fi. Yeah, so I could probably play through samples of that as well, depending on how long we feel like staying. It is a little late over here, it's almost 1 a.m. in my time, so I was not intending the stream to be going for so long, but I spent the first 20 minutes trying to figure out how to get it to work, and lots of commentary in between. I kind of didn't realize how long that would take, but I'm happy chatting with you guys, so I'm not complaining. And tomorrow's Saturday for me anyway, so I can wake up late if I wanted to. Still talking about Duolingo. Cool. Yeah, if this is our set list, I will make my own set list. Or tier list, not set list. Tier maker. Let's go to my tier list template. And I will make my own version of how I feel about the album. Okay. Oh, I can't do the same thing twice. If I move this, is that gonna... move the other one? No, it doesn't. Okay. Can I reset this? Yes. Okay. So this is everyone else's tiers list. This is what we've consecutively agreed on, mostly. I kind of tried to water it down to one big tier list, but not exactly what you guys are thinking, but close enough, I guess. Okay. My tier list. You are probably going to hate me for this, but again, I really did not like Stalkers. That's probably my least favorite one. Crimson also was just really weird for me. I'm gonna put that a little higher, maybe C or D. It's like kind of next to Stalkers for me. I'll probably move this up as I keep making it. I'm sorry to break everyone's hearts on this, honestly. There's no C. Oh. Yeah, everyone voted pretty positively on the album, which I'm happy about. What else? I really liked Martyr. Martyr was a lot of fun. Playing with, Appetite. That was really good too. I like Appetite a lot. False Believers was really good. Mutiny I'd put as a C. I thought that one was kind of repetitive. I know, I'm so hard on myself with critiquing all my stuff, so I'm trying to be better about that. Well, this is how I feel about the album before I saw everyone else's reactions, so again, this is subject to change, but this was how I felt before I heard everyone else's reactions. Quarantine, I think, is also a C. What If the World Was Ending is a B, I think. Playing with Fire, B. Who Died Made You King is also really good. Ceasefire's pretty good. I'd say that's an A. And Vigilante, I'd say, is an A. Yeah, I think that's about right. This is how I would rank the album. Let's compare between the two. Yeah, Stalkers, I'm really surprised how well received Stalkers was. That was such a weird one for me. So that's like completely on the other end of the spectrum. What else? Appetite, those are both S rank. That makes me happy. False Believers, also S rank for both me and you guys. That makes me happy as well. We love that. False Believers is good. Who Died Made You King, you guys rounded that down to an A. I said that as an S. I liked Who Died Made You King a lot, so I don't know. Just something about it was just really fun for me, just working on the song and the lyrics I think were pretty good. But I can accept an A for that one. Ceasefire I ranked as an A. Ceasefire is an S for you guys. Oh, okay. Wow, nice. That makes me happy. Playing with Fire would have been an A without me, my bad, guys. No worries at all. Could you get the link for the tier list? Yeah. I can, yeah, I'll post it, and you guys can make your own individual tier lists if you'd like. Where do I, let me, hang on. Tier maker. I can type so well. Let's see. Tier maker. My internet's a little slow, so bear with me here. But yeah, I'd love to see your tier list. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on the album. There. I'll post the link in the chat. Okay. You can click on the link. Great. I'll wait to do the tier list until I listen to the album again. Yeah, no, go for it. Totally fair. No one's forced to do it now. Helps to actually know what the album sounds like too, so that's understandable. Now where was I on the tier list? Ceasefire. Yeah, Ceasefire was A for me, S for you guys. Vigilante I thought was an A. Vigilante is down to a B with you guys. Totally fair. That one kind of got a little old for me, because again, that was my first song, so understandably it would have gotten a little old. What If the World Was Ending I would have ranked as a B. But you guys ranked that as an A. Yeah, I sent the album to Nate too, my guitarist friend Nate. He really liked the chorus on What If the World Was Ending, which I was not expecting either, because I thought the song was just like so plain and so simple. But I don't know, he just really liked the chorus, so that makes me happy. Yeah. Crimson, you guys thought was an A. I thought was a D. It was a little too dark and edgy for me, and I kind of it just rubbed me the wrong way. What else? Playing with Fire was a B, except for Will, who would have made it an A. Thanks, Will. No, I'm just kidding. Playing with Fire, I ranked as a B as well, so I'm fine with that. Vigilante is a B for you guys. Vigilante's an A for me, which I probably would rank as a B if I really thought over too much. Mutiny was a B for you guys. I ranked it as a C because I thought it was too repetitive, and like Brutzy was saying earlier, not a lot going on in the composition and production. I feel like I could have put a bit more effort into that one. So, yeah. Not my best work, if I'm being honest, but that's okay. Yeah. With that said... Cool. Okay. Well, I'll close out of these then, since we're done comparing tier lists. Yeah. Let me... Okay. I know, the stream's going on for a while, you guys are probably getting tired, but I will throw some questions at me. I'm gonna open the Q&A section. So, give me all your questions. It can be about the individual songs, about making the album, about writing the lyrics, anything like that. Whatever else you feel is relevant, ask away. YouTube is being... Chat is... Oh, that's why, because I have the question section. Just do my job, I'll bring down the average count for perfect album. Thanks, Will. Appreciate you. I guess I'll save the bonus tracks for Bandcamp, let you guys listen to that on your own. But I do have an instrumental track called... Oh my gosh, what's the name of it? I have an instrumental track called Wasteland. I was probably gonna put it before Ceasefire originally, but I decided to just kind of make it its own thing. I have an acoustic version of Appetite. I have an acoustic version of Who Died Made You King. And this was Dante's idea, but I decided to do a orchestral version of Playing with Fire. And it's a little simple, I think, but I think it's pretty cool. I was really glad with that idea that you had, so thank you for that, Dante. I'm very proud of how that turned out. Let's see. Do we have any questions? No questions right now. Okay. Again, I know it's kind of late for you guys, so if we'd rather end the stream, that's fine by me. I could always do Q&As another time. But I leave it because stream lag. Of that. We vibe, we ball, all that fun stuff. Woo. Does Live and Learn is stinky poopy butt. Thank you. My response to that, yes. I don't know. I am a stinky poopy butt. You heard it here, people. I'm a stinky poopy butt. I have plenty of things I could potentially answer, but I don't want to like talk all you to death. Because again, like I was planning on doing like a separate video for Q&A. I don't know why I keep saying again if I mentioned something I didn't mention before. I can't think of many questions right now. I asked most of them during the stream. Okay, that's fair. Again, I could always make a video of potential questions I thought would be worth sharing. Yeah, we'll save that for later. But I'll give it a bit more in case you guys do have any other things you want to share. I would love to see your reviews on the album too. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you liked. Let me know what you didn't like. Let me know anything you would have had me do differently. Anything like that. Yeah, because I am very open to critiques. I'd love to know how I can improve my songs as an artist for you guys, and just let me know like what you do like and what you'd like to see more of, and I will keep those in mind for future releases. vibe with the lo-fi. Let me turn this up a bit. We vibe. We ball. Updates. Look at all these new singles by Hayley Williams. Live and Learn. Let's see if it's on Tidal. The album, I mean. Oop. It's out! Yay! Playing with Fire is on Tidal, which is what I use because Spotify does not pay artists fairly. Boo, stinky, yucky. And Tidal has some nice extra benefits too, like you can watch music videos on there. You can listen to audio and surround sound. You can adjust the quality of the audio. And other fun stuff like that. Let me see. Let me heart the songs I like. Appetite's a banger. False Believers is a banger. Who Died Imagery King is a banger. Vigilante, Murder. Yeah, I thought the first half was kind of not that great compared to the second half of the album, so I like the second half a lot more. But just as an example, my friend Nate was saying the other opposite thing. He was thinking that the second half kind of had like two similar details, so it kind of just like was a blur for him. But the first half he thought was more unique, which is interesting because again, not what I would have thought of. But I'm not. Are Live and Learn secretly twins? I am one and the same person. I am Live. I am Learn. I am in your walls. Okay. I guess we're out of questions for now then. Or comments or anything like that. Is there anything in the regular chat? No, not my walls. Was there anyone else you were planning on getting for the album but didn't make it to the cut? Good question. As I mentioned before, Moon Raccoon was someone I was going to collab with. I was going to collab with Moon on Mutiny. Which originally, like, the song was repurposed. Many of the songs on this album actually were repurposed demos from Veilstorm. False Believers, Mutiny, what else? No, I think it was just those two. Yeah, those two were, those were demos for Veilstorm, and then I repurposed them. And I was gonna collab with Moon on that song. The original song, or the original title for Mutiny was called Cold Collapse. And then Moon wanted to rename it to Coldest Light, and it was like a synthwave song at the time, but we just had like many different ideas that were kind of clashing with each other, so we kind of thought we'd save the demo for something else, and I just kind of used my old demo and then went off of that, and then that turned into Mutiny. What's next after Playing with Fire? Is there anything else you're planning? Yeah, so I have like many ideas. Not many of them are actually fleshed out, but I have 2 other albums in progress right now. One of them is sort of like a bit of a somewhat story album, kind of like Playing with Fire, but not like a concept album. It's just sort of like a rough story based on me trying to heal from a past experience of like just this relationship I had with this person where it just kind of went from like feeling like I was never good enough for them, to like feeling really torn between like addicted to their attention or like hating their guts, and then kind of moving on to like, okay, I'm gonna forgive this whole incident and I'm gonna move on from it. And like it's been a really weird journey with that album because I keep like changing how I feel about it, and my feelings for this person kind of kept changing over time too, so I kept like scrapping tracks and putting in new ones. So it's in a very, very early stage right now. I have a couple finished demos. Finished demos, yeah, like not like fully recorded guitars and vocals and mixing, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna add anything on top of that. But that's a thing I'm working on. That has been in progress for a while as well. It's been 2023, I think I started that, or 2024, one of those two. And my other album is also pretty early on in stages, but I told Dante about this. I am a huge Animorphs nerd. It was a book series I read starting in 5th grade about, it was from the 90s, but it was this book series. It was like a sci-fi series about these 5 kids who had the ability to turn into animals, and their alien friend who can also turn into animals, and they're like the only force of Earth fighting against these parasitic alien race that are infesting people and controlling them. And I know it's kind of cheesy. I don't really do nerdcore, but I guess this sort of counts as nerdcore because it's like, ooh, I'm making songs based off of an already existing franchise. I love Animorphs to death. I have, I think, 4 demos for that album right now. I have plans for it. I have ideas I'd like to make songs out of, but they are not ready yet. I haven't really started most of them. Ooh, my voice cracked. What other names did you consider for the album? I consulted ChatGPT for that. No, did I? No, I think I made a tweet about that and I asked people for their ideas. I don't remember most of them, but I think I eventually decided on playing with fire. And then it was when I made the song Playing with Fire that I decided that would be the title track and I would make the album called Playing with Fire. Were there any other shows or movies that inspired you to work on this project? I will say there were some experiences I've had that kind of fueled many of the songs. Appetite and False Believers especially. Those are like my hardest, angriest songs, so I was pretty mad back then. What else? Vigilante. That was just summarizes me as a person, just how paranoid I am about losing people I love. That one I wrote back in 2020. That was a really old song too. Yeah, this one. But in terms of like franchises or movies or shows or anything like that, I don't believe so. What other names? Is this the original vision you had for the album, or did you go through changes? In terms of the set list, I'd say pretty much been the same. I had like very vague ideas of what I wanted to happen with the concept album, but it fleshed itself out more over time as I was adding more songs to it. Because that made it a lot easier to compose the songs too, because I would know what to make each song about, and then just kind of go from there. So, because before, like really early on, it was just Vigilante and Ceasefire. Actually, I have like a spreadsheet of the album, and I've been making changes to the spreadsheet as I've been updating progress on the album. So I can like go back in time to see really old versions of it, so I can see like what songs let's go back in time, shall we? When this loads. We love slow internet. My poor laptop is boiling right now. April 23rd. That wasn't too long ago. Come on. I wait for this thing to load. Might be a bit until I can get to the bottom of it. Because I updated this sheet a lot. Ah, sorry. That's the sound I make when I try to move my mic. The cable just yells at me. Some of the questions are in the chat, some of them are in the questions section. So I have to go back and forth between them while I scroll down. Okay, nothing new in the Q&A section. Live chat. Are there more questions? We are still going. 2024. Let's see what happened in 2024. I kept changing like the mastering section, whether I wanted to like add, did you double check the mix, or did you check the EQ, did you check the panning, all this other stuff. So I tried to like condense it and then add some more stuff over time, because I was kind of indecisive about that. 2023, let's see what happened in 2023. Oh yeah, so it was 2023 was called Coldest Light for Mutiny. And I was debating on changing the name of False Believers, because that was, again, a Veilstorm demo. That was the original name of the song. It was called False Believers. And it was about something else, but it was a similar enough concept. And when I was writing lyrics for it, I was thinking, like, what am I going to name this song? I figured I'd name it based on whatever came out with the lyrics. But I just kind of wrote the lyrics around the title False Believers, and the name kind of stuck. So I kept the title as False Believers. What else? Still scrolling through this thing. It's taking a long time. We're down to 2022 now. What happened to 2022? Oh yeah, Wasteland. That was going to be before Ceasefire. So that was going to be my main set list. And I want to... Oh wait, I didn't even have Martyr here at the time. Yeah, Martyr was like a last second addition, I think. Well, not last second, but I think that was the last song I added to the album. So before that, it was going to be Wasteland. That would transition into Ceasefire, where it's just like, oh no, destruction, chaos, but as an instrumental. 2021, okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. Okay, so the original set list, when I first made this spreadsheet, was What If the World Was Ending. That was going to be number 1 regardless. Vigilante, which didn't have a place in the set list yet. And then another orchestral song I started for Veilstorm. It was originally called The Dark Dream. It was this 10-minute long orchestral symphonic song. And it was originally going to be for their second album, but I backed out of it and I wanted to take that song with me, so I kind of wanted to save it for something else. And I thought it'd be kind of cool to use as an original song, but eventually I ended up not using that one because I felt like it just kind of didn't fit and I didn't know what to write in there. False Believers was also early on. That was also going to be in there too. Didn't have a place for it yet. And then Wasteland was going to be in there as well. I wrote that not too long after my previous instrumental track, Despair, which was back in 2020. Was that? I guess that was 2021. That was 2022. Wow. Yeah. It was just those 4 songs pretty much. And then what else? I added Ceasefire in 2022. I added Who Died Made You King. I forgot how early that song was. That was pretty early on in my set list. So the order was going to be Who Died Made You King, Vigilante, The Dark Dream, False Believers, Ceasefire, and Who Died Made You King. I moved Wasteland down to a section I made called Extra Tracks I'm Not Sure About. So I was less optimistic of that being in the album entirely. So I was like, I don't know if I'll use this. And then there was another song I made that I called Interrogated, which later turned into Quarantine. Because originally I made that to be about something completely different. Long story short, my high school misheard me say something and they thought I was like, I don't know, some sort of shooter or terrorist or something. And so they decided to interrogate me, and that was traumatizing. So I was gonna make a song about it, and it was gonna be called Interrogated. The chord progression was the same. The only difference is that, like, instead of being about COVID, the song had the same chord progression, but it was about, like, I had some old lyrics too. One of the lines I remember, I think, was, "Sat down at a table of sin and shame. I look up with dread as they call my name." And some other stuff here and there. I still have that in my notebook somewhere. Yeah, that ended up being Quarantine instead. But I also had, like, some ARPs and poppy synths in the original version, which I have saved on my demos Playing with Fire album. That'll probably be releasing later on. It's like a collection of old demos of all the songs. Yeah. Ceasefire was new. Oh yeah, Martyr. That was added not too long after. Okay, I guess that was not one of my last songs. Oh no, actually, the thing about Martyr is I didn't actually compose the instrumental for it until much later. I knew what I wanted it to be about, but I didn't have an instrumental to go off of. And when I eventually did make one, it was a instrumental that AAA made. It was like a garage rock sort of sound too. It was like a really early demo with like no mixing or anything. It's just like one track of guitars. And I called it Not Martyr later on because I didn't know what else to call it, and I kind of thought it didn't really fit Martyr anymore. And then Martyr ended up becoming fleshed out from a demo I made that was called Lost. All I had for that was just like the little piano part in the beginning with like the reverse reverb piano and like the simple notes. That turned into Martyr. I just kind of fully fleshed that out, and I'm like, okay, this is Martyr now. When did I update this next? Okay, lots of new stuff. This was in August, exactly 3 years ago. I added Appetite. I started working on finalizing the album order. Mutiny and Quarantine were going to be opposite directions, so it would have been Mutiny first, then Quarantine. So, What If the World Was Ending, Mutiny, Quarantine, Stalkers, another demo I started called Delusional, which was just lyrics. I had no instrumental for that yet. Then Appetite, then Martyr, Dark Dream, Who Died Meiji King, False Believers, Vigilante, Ceasefire. Oh, and Intertwined was also possibly going to be in the set list. Title, where are you? Intertwined, some of you guys may know that from Poisonous Myth. That was my love song to AAA. I wasn't really sure to put that one in the album, but I thought maybe I should use this. I wasn't really sure to put it. I'm gonna head out soon. I'm tired. Thank you for the stream. It was fun. I'll listen to the album again tomorrow. See you later. Thank you for joining, Alpha. Appreciate the support. Let me know your thoughts on the album when you're able to listen to it. Yeah, if you guys are falling asleep, just let me know. I'm just kind of rambling about how the album evolved from demos to where it is now. When did I start working on Crimson? That's a good question. Crimson was pretty late in the album. I think Dark Dream was like a really old version of what later on became Crimson. Because I knew I wanted like a dark orchestral song, and that fit the print of that same genre. But I replaced Dark Dream with Crimson. So that later became what would have been Crimson. But I didn't make Crimson until much later. Looking through the spreadsheet. Quarantine didn't have a name either, just called it Quarantine Song at the time. And then later on just decided to keep Quarantine as the name. I was also debating on calling Mutiny, which was called Cold Collapse at the time. I was debating on calling that Rude Awakening. So I had that in parentheses. It was called Cold Collapse, parentheses, Rude Awakening. Neither of those names stuck, obviously. Wasteland I decided to put back in the album. I had some other unfinished songs that I decided to throw in the extra tracks I'm not sure about section, which was Interrogated, which became Quarantine, Intertwined, which was my love song for AAA, which turned into, that was in Floor Vibes instead, which came out much later, Delusional, lyric demo, Armageddon. That was a song my mom made, actually, back in the 90s, I think. My mom was a very prolific songwriter, and she thought it would be cool to have me record and arrange a more modern version of one of her older songs, which was called Armageddon, and in parentheses, The Eye is Blind. And I thought, that's a post-apocalyptic song that might fit in the album, actually. I started it, and then it never finished. I had some recordings of my mom playing it on guitar. I lost those recordings, and I had audio of my mom singing it. That's gone too. So I don't know. Eventually, I might like remaster some of my mom's old songs and then release those as like an EP or something. The lyrics are very different from what I would have written. I'll say that. Yeah. And you can tell it was from the 90s because she wrote the word telephone instead of phone in it. The line was, the telephone is bleeding, fire burning everywhere. Sky is screaming lunacy, wise men crouching on the earth. All we do is keep repeating how that was the chorus. Well, there's more to it. That beginning I forgot to mention. You can see it in the movies, you can feel it in the air. And then it goes back to telephone is bleeding. That'd be a personal album then. Yeah, if I do revise my mom's songs, it would be on its own album project, I think. Or maybe I'll put one in like a new album. I don't know. We'll see. And then I also had another demo called I Remember, which was also just lyric ideas, no instrumental yet. It was just a song about nostalgia, I guess. I didn't really know what to do with that one. What else? False Believers was going to be after Who Died and Made You King. Back then. Cult Collapse was still a thing. That was before quarantine. We're in 2022 now on this spreadsheet. I adjusted the format of the spreadsheet. Last thing I did in 2022. Appetite and Ceasefire were getting worked on. Oh, more demos. Okay. Another old Veilstorm song, Set in Stone. That was another dark orchestral song that I was debating on adding that as well. And then two more lyrics. Oh, no, Delusional was already on there. Hypocrites was another demo I wanted to make. I just had like a title and very few lyrics. That didn't really become much of anything. I wanted to replace Cold Collapse in 2023. I wasn't sure what to do with it at the time. Okay, and then I added Crimson in 2023. January 2023. I was going to put it between Vigilante and Martyr. And I didn't have a name for it. This was when it was still the first demo, when it was in 5/4. I didn't have a name, so I just called it 5/4 Symphonic Song. And I composed it fairly fast, but again, like I was struggling with putting lyrics and vocals over it, so it's only ever been an instrumental, and it's always going to be that way, probably. I'm not too proud of it now, but I might save it for something, I don't know. Is it just not too much? 500. I think it's just you and me right now, Dante, unless someone else comments. Yeah, I can keep going with the spreadsheet. Dark Dream moved down to extra tracks I'm not sure about, and I replaced it with Crimson in January 2023. Let's see what happened in February 2023. False Believers, I wrote maybe renaming, so I decided I might change the title. And then I didn't, to quote John Mulaney. Oh, and then I named it Crimson in March of 2023. I had a name for it. Yay, how exciting. Oh, Potential. That's another song I almost got on the album. That was like the first original song I ever wrote and recorded. It's really cheesy, but it was like supposed to be like an uplifting anthem pop song about like having more faith in yourself and like not realizing your own potential, hence the name. The melody I thought was so bad, but the instrumental I thought had some, I would say potential, but I don't want to start making puns out of my own song. But I don't know. Did you have an idea on the album's background, or did the idea get tossed with Skittle? Okay, so I actually knew what I wanted the album cover to look like long before I even started playing with fire. I had another album idea way back in like 2017, 2018, like around when I started my YouTube channel actually. I was gonna call it Tales of a Fallen Society. And it was similar to what Playing with Fire became. It was just like sort of apocalyptic. Like it was kind of based on Stargazers actually, like Aviators' album Stargazers. I liked that album a lot at the time, so I wanted to kind of make my own tribute album on that. And each song was going to be like individual person going through like the dystopia, chaos, madness, and whatever. So it was going to be divided into 3 parts. I don't think I ever finished them. Most of the demos I made were like on my phone, so they were really bad. There was gonna be like one song about like a detective trying to solve a murder, a song about this, I think it was like a mother trying to write to her child or something, or like somebody who knew they were gonna die and like wrote a letter for whoever finds it. But yeah, that had the same album cover that Playing with Fire did. It was gonna be like this whole like scene of destruction and then like some guy in the front holding a match behind his back, or it was a lighter behind his back. And in the version Skittle made, it's the same thing, like a city on fire and a guy holding a lighter. So it was pretty much the exact same. So I've had that idea for a long time. I'm glad I got to move that into something else. And it looks so much better. Thank you, Skittle. What else do I have here? Looking through the spreadsheet again in the meantime. My computer's slowing down. It was still called Coldest Light. When did I change the name? I think it was pretty late in the progress of me making the album that I changed the name to Mutiny. Because I had the demo and chord progression pretty much laid out. Oh, here's another new song I do. But for Mutiny, like I had at first it was like another Veilstorm song, so it started off kind of bittersweet sounding, so the chord progression was different. And then Matrix was like, I need this to be sadder, and I was like, okay, so I made it sadder. And then we ended up not using it for anything, and then I decided to yoink it and be like, this is mine now, I'm going to make a song out of it. And then it turned into, well, the song name back in when it was still a Veilstorm demo was called Cold Collapse. And then as I read the lyrics, this mutiny is endless, so I was like, okay, I guess that's the title now. Another original song I was working on at the time in April 2023 was a song called Censor Me, which was sort of like a tongue-in-cheek, angry song about social media, like cancel culture and censorship and stuff like that. Which was just lyrics, I didn't have any instrumental for that one. Yeah, I ended up not using that, obviously. Oh, I forgot about this! I was gonna make an acoustic cover of False Believers. Oh man, that would've been cool. I completely forgot about that. Man, maybe I should do that. I mean, that's mostly power chords, so it's gonna be hard to translate onto an acoustic guitar. That would be cool, though. I could do like a stripped version of it. I'd probably have Triple help me with that if he's up for it. I know he's kind of busy with his own thing, so I don't want to pressure him, but also, like, that would be cool. I mean, you could do like a Poison Smith version of it. I don't know. We'll see. We have a Poison Smith single that is ready, and the audio is done. I just need a lyric video for it. I wasn't sure when to release it because I still had the album I had to worry about. And I didn't want to release it too closely to the album, so I didn't want like attention to be like taken away from it at the expense of something else. so I'm probably gonna put it out a bit later after the hype dies down for Playing with Fire. And I still need a lyric video for that, so I gotta find someone to do that. But then once lyric video's done, I can put that on there. And we can make that a single. That was AAA's idea too. I wasn't really expecting much would happen with Poison Smith after Floor Vibes Acoustic, but AAA still had ideas going, and he was like, here's a song. And I was like, oh, cool, let me finish this. And he made the song, and it is cool. Bit of a darker topic for AAA to write about lyrically too. It kind of surprised me, honestly. You can play it on acoustic too. I mean, those were originally just gonna be acoustic. The original or the acoustic tracks were just gonna be bonus tracks on Bandcamp and exclusive to Bandcamp. So I don't know. I mean, if people like them enough, I might like release those as singles on other music stores. But I don't know. Maybe I could do False Believers acoustic as a single eventually. We'll see how willing I am. Appetite and False Believers got a lot of love on this album, so I'm very happy about that. These my two rock songs are doing pretty well. I'm gonna have to do more rock songs in the future. And then what else happened with this album? Let's see. July 2023. Bandcamp exclusive even better. Yeah. I wanted to have more perks on Bandcamp, so it would just be like, here's some bonus content. Bandcamp is the superior place for supporting small artists, so I wanted to make it more worth it if people decide to buy from there. Okay. July 2023, I finally renamed Quarantine Song to Quarantine. That's about all that happened there. Let's see, September 2023, what happened in September? I can't remember what happened in September. Can this load, please? That would be so nice. Big time. Yeah, okay. I wrote vocalist under Crimson was going to be Liv and Aviators, because again I was debating on having Avi on the song, and I didn't really think it was good, so Avi, I decided not to have him on that song, but I would eventually like to collab with him, so when I have a song I feel like better fits him, I will definitely reach out and be like, hey, so here's a new song, in case you're interested. Okay, and here I was debating on calling Coldest Light Mutiny, but I didn't completely change the name yet. Let's see. 2023, I think, was when I started to really finalize everything. This was like 2 years ago, man. And I just spent the last 2 years adjusting the mixes. Oh, man. That was a time. Let's see. December 2023, I didn't have the name Mutiny finalized yet. 2024, I still had the 5.4 version, oh no, the second version of Crimson, version 2. And the set list looks like it's the same as it is now. I was gonna have my mom's song as a bonus track. Yeah, everything else looks about the same. I had my list of other tracks I was debating on adding as well. Message retracted. Did you delete a message or did YouTube filter it? Oh, it's gone now. Tell me you want to make a cover of Apple Buckin' with him. Oh, God, no. I technically did make a cover of Apple Buckin' a long time ago, just as a joke, and it was, like, I wanted to try and make it better. And I made, like, this little, like, symphonic E cover with, like, a harp and strings and stuff like that. It was so bad. It was on my SoundCloud for a while. No way am I gonna cover that. I honestly do not like his Brony songs at all. Not a fan. I was also debating on collabing with Musical for False Believers. I wasn't sure if I was gonna do him or Gatto, or them or Gatto. And I ended up choosing Gatto because Musi was busy or something. I don't remember why. What else? I think it's pretty much. Oh, Potential was gonna be a bonus track too. Then I add Playing with Fire orchestral version in 2024, April 2024. After your suggestion, I decided to make that a thing, and it made it into the final album's bonus tracks. So thank you again for the idea. Potential got scrapped. I don't know if I'll redo it. If I do, I'm gonna rewrite the lyrics and the melody. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it with the album. Everything else looks the same. Okay. I know you're the only person here right now, but do you have any more questions that I could answer? If not, I will end the stream. Thank you for asking, and having Gatto in here in the album was amazing. I missed him and it hit like nostalgia. Yeah, no, I'm happy I got to have Gatto in the album. He's so talented. I'll have to work with him again sometime. We vibe. It is almost 2 a.m. over here. I'm just gonna vibe to the lo-fi for a bit. Also, my PNG tuber was done by Unicat, a friend of Fish Paste, who is a mod in Aviators server, and Aviators is mastering engineer. So I don't think Unicat is watching the stream, but she is. Thank you for the PNG tuber. You're amazing. And I'll definitely be using it in the future. You're gonna have questions, I don't know about anyone else. Oh, Will, you're still here. I thought you left. Okay. Well, if you're out of questions, I assume Dante's probably out of questions too then. I don't know. I'll give it a bit. We vibe. We're just kind of doing our thing. It is pretty late though, so I should be getting to bed soon, given it's 2 a.m. right now. Wow, it says 7 people are watching right now, which is more than like the second half of the stream, so 2 people just kind of come back. You wouldn't leave me? Oh, thank you. Even though it's like, what, 8 a.m. for you right now? Your sleep cycle is like destroyed right now. It feels so bad, I'm sorry. I remember when you needed orchestral rock to get an idea for music. What was the song that helped make it to this album? You need orchestral rock to make an idea for music. The orchestral rock song was actually in the Animorphs album, not in this album. That one I think is the instrumental. I think is roughly done. I need to add lyrics and vocals yet. That one I think turned out pretty good. But that was a song called "Broken Wings" about Tobias. My favorite character. He's awesome. We love Tobias. Oh man. Don't get me started because I'm gonna start like rambling about the Animorphs album and I'll never shut up. I don't want to spoil too much. But yeah, I gotta get back into the groove for that one. But I think once I do, I'll definitely have my motivation back and I'll get to chipping away at the songs again. Because I got plenty of ideas. Most of them are not fleshed out yet. So yeah, so I got the Playing with Fire lo-fi mixes. I'll eventually be adding onto Bandcamp. It'll probably be a Bandcamp exclusive, I think. Under a separate, either a separate name? No. I was originally going to make it a separate account. I was going to call it Libs Lo-Fi. and use the picture I had as my profile picture on Discord. That was gonna be the profile picture. But now that I think about it, just like for the sake of my own recognition online, it might be easier if I do it under Live and Learn. Probably just on Bandcamp for now. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll sort of finish those first, and then I'll decide where to upload them to. You're out of questions. Okay. Well, if you're out of questions, I'm gonna end the stream then. I assume there's only like 2 of you watching by now, but thank you guys for sticking through the whole stream and for being patient with my rambling and me troubleshooting and all that fun stuff. And thank you to everyone who came. Thank you for the support. It's been a pleasure getting to share this album with you guys. I would love to know your thoughts, so feel free to comment, DM me, share on the server, whatever. Stream the album, it's out everywhere. And yeah, I will be sharing about my socials everywhere tomorrow. I'll go to bed, don't yell at me. Just kind of saying some concluding stuff before I leave. But again, yeah, albums out everywhere. Thank you for your support. Thank you for joining the stream. Thank you for your comments and critiques. We had a grand old time. And with that, let me get this up and running again. Thank you so much, guys, and I will see you later.